This is Major TV and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Couldn't do it without you, need your full participation. And we giving back this to show our appreciation. Tune in daily, get your positive vibrations. Learn different words in your own native language. Learn being black ain't all about slavery. Put that in the school book, it's part of education. We need to rewrite it, need some better information. Like how we built the pyramids and formed our own nation. Visit different continents and then try to invade them. Way before Columbus, but that ain't none of these pages. It's all just rumors, just a bunch of speculation. But why I never admit every hero is Caucasian? Even white people starting to say this shit is racist. Like how they talking to blacks for this vaccination. This is Major TV and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Cause do it without you, need your full participation. And we giving back this to show our appreciation. This is Major TV and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Cause do it without you, need your full participation. And we giving back this to show our appreciation. Appreciate the views and appreciate the comments. Keeping it real, always giving you this content. Hoping that my people don't take nothing out of context. Giving you
Hey, my people, what's going on? This is Major Tune to Major TV. Let's talk. This is where real engagement conversation with the black community begin. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Hotep. Peace and blessings. Hola and good day to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. I want to first ask you to share this live. We have a very, very powerful discussion I think we should have on reparations that I'm feeling like we have to speak about. And there's just so much to talk about it. And I understand that it's a much-needed conversation, but I also feel like there's things happening around us that we don't talk about as much. So I definitely want to talk about this, and I want to also ask you all to talk about it. So I will have a link in the description, in the chat. So if you want to join in the conversation, we will go there. I see there's 12 watching. Won't you come in the chat? If you want to be a part of the conversation, shout yourself out, shout the channel out, shout me out, shout out where you're from. Just show some love, My man, that Turner building, how you doing? Heard about the Talk Black Radio that Jim J One Emotion could hit. That keep on supporting Jim J and donate to his GoFundMe. Also, Ozone and Spike. In fact, for also support the Legion WGWTA. Nat Turner, keep on supporting. In fact, the Legions WGWTA, other black organization that's standing up for us. Support Jim J, Ozone, Spike, and Major. Keep doing the good thing that you're doing. Thank you, my man. Thank you, Nat Turner. My brother Antoine Irvin in the building. What's up, brother? Major in the room. B1 first. My people, the Real Life OPG2. Hello, everybody. How you doing? I am Energy saying peace and black love. B1 first. Thank you for coming through. Cyril Lilly, Shiloh, what's up? Open Roads, Success Reparations from H-Town, represent. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for coming through. I have Tiffany Turner, peace and love, everyone here, Major. Thank you, sister. How you doing? What's up? Future Millen, Freight, what's up, Major TV? But we not getting reparations crying out of Pan-African. Just saying, left Allah. I feel you. Just, DMV and the House Reparation now cut the checks. real talk. Let's let people come in the chat and what have you. But let me give a quick update on Jim J. There will not be a press conference until after this cold date on the 25th. For anybody that had a problem, the way I slur and the way I made sound when I talk. But let me just make it clear, that he did win the motion. I said that in the audio. He did win the motion, suppress, and it was dealing with other crime evidence. The state, they do any and everything to try to win their case. And they give the state the option to introduce. I don't know where it comes from, but it always been controversy interviews, past arrests or convictions related to what that person may be on trial for. This case, and resisting arrest, impeding the federal officers investigation, et cetera, on the federal statute. And Talk Blackman kind of explained to y'all as clear as he could about it. I just doubled down saying he was right. They was trying to use a domestic violence thing, something from the military and other things and what have you. I'm not at liberty to speak about. I haven't watched the document in a minute when I had got it and reviewed it, but I know some things in the past they were trying to throw at him because they really didn't have a case, y'all. They just was trying to make him like a bad character for the jury and all to try to get him convicted. By them granting this motion saying they can't use that evidence, their case is very, very weak. But you have to realize, I didn't say this in my audio, this is still taxpayers' money. This is not coming out of their pockets. This is our money. They're trying this brother, on some fraudulent and bogus charges just because he was somebody that stood up, that asserted his rights, and then informed black people do the same thing and not deal with the injustice that we deal with all the time. And he was just targeted for that. And y'all know a lot of times they do us dirty. They'll say they're not doing nothing. They'll look you straight in your face and they're not, they'll try to explain to you with clear face that what they're doing is righteous or what they're doing is by the law and what they're doing is right, when all the while we know it's a bunch of bull crap. They lie. They will do anything to bring anybody down. So in Jim J case, it's just that situation, but his case do look good. And his lawyers, it was hammering him across the head with various motions and whatnot. And the process, people understand how it works. When you get first arrested, they got so many days to file an indictment, right? And in that process, you know what I'm saying, you're going to plenary hearing, looking for proper cause whether this person should go to trial or not. Then they file a series of motions. They go through the discovery process of sharing inculpatory, exculpatory evidence that is favorable for the defendant against, and both sides request certain things. The prosecutor requests, defense requests certain things, the prosecutor, and vice versa. It's called discovery process. Then you got hearings and all that they go through, but of course you got to go to plenary hearing. But first you got to go to arraignment, of course, to plea of guilty or not guilty after they read the indictment or bill information. You plead guilty or not guilty. Then they go to a series of discovery process of filing of emotion with each other. Then they get into like the plenary hearing and different suppression hearings, and see how it work on both sides, especially for the defense. For defense, you're trying to weaken the prosecutor's case against you, in reference to you trying to poke through the evidence, whether you're dealing with identification, whether you're dealing with evidence, whether you're dealing with testimony, you're dealing with police report, whatever the case might be that they might be trying to use against you. I'm just speaking hypothetically. You're trying to get that suppressed because if they have no evidence, they have no case. That's just law they're going through and what have you. Again, he won't do a public address, but he won't let he wanted me to let everybody know. I haven't dropped it. I'm gonna let y'all know I haven't dropped it. I'm gonna drop it probably in a little video and what have you. But he did contact me and let me know about I'll just drop it at 9 a.m. at October 25th, 2021 at 9 a.m. Room 2 in Jefferson County. Arrangement. He have a number 21 RSC-002295. That's what the room gonna be. I guess been hearing and what have you. He did say that all news media gonna be there. And he want to inform black me. He want black me to be aware of it. So I had put some together, but I know I was doing this live, so I wanted to talk about this first before we go into that. But I'm gonna do something very brief. What I'm saying now, I'm gonna put in the audio, so I'm just letting you all know what's going on right now with this. So that's what's up with that. Shirley Baker in the building. Ride North Carolina. 919. Yeah, applaud and love. That's what's up. David Weeks in the building. Shalom, Major. I salute you. And yes, we have continued support Jim J. on Real Talk, Black Power. I love you all, Black family. Love you back. Jace, in fact, forever ready, standing by. I'm really tired of our white system. LPRS most high. B1, first always struggling, striving against the most satanic, corrupt society on the planet. Black first, second, and third. Hello, peace and blessings. Thank you for coming through. Shiloh, Lilies. These toy soldiers out here have no idea what the U.S. military inflicted posted does. PTSD does to our men. Treatment denied to mostly black and indigenous soldiers, creating an environment perfect for domestic violence. Real talk, real talk. That's powerful. Danielle Williams, Shalom, Agent Black Fam. VA in the house, salute Jim J. In fact, UBKN. In fact, worldwide. Thank you for coming through. Shout y'all out before we go in this content. Patricia Goodhope, all praise the most high. I am. Hope I pronounced that right, what have you. But let's just talk about it. I'm about to put a link in that thing whenever somebody want to come in. They can be helping to come in because this is gonna be an open discussion because there's some things I want to talk about. And I really believe like I just come in, I'm open up talking about this, right? The link is in description. There is things going on that I think that we're not talking about. Like we talk about reparations a lot, right? And I'm gonna be real with you. There's things that happen, right? That we're not hearing a lot of conversation about. I won't lie. And it baffles me that we're not talking about this and we're not making this a real conversation, right? And I want to first talk about June 19, 2020, around June 19, you had 11 U.S. males say they are committed to paying reparations for slavery. And before I go into this, right, I need to say this. There is a serious push, the whole time y'all heard nothing I said. I'm embarrassed. Y'all let me go 14 minutes and not hear me. Oh, okay. All right. Y'all heard most of what I said? Y'all hear most of what I said? Okay. Say when out after I said was serious push. There's been a serious push for reparation and self-determination, right? And it's been a grassroots situation. And I feel like there's things going on, like what happened with Bruce Beach. You got 11 males, right, that said that um they they are committed to paying some form of reparation for slavery, right? And then we hear about the Bruce Beach situation, whereas there were a black family that the governor of California signed over a beach that was stolen from the to the with Manhattan Beach property line about what he needed land for, and how for 12 years this family, this couple, had the Bruce family had to deal with the Ku Klux Klans and the white citizens harassing 12 years, and we're gonna talk about it. Let me bring my brother Antoine Irvin the building. How you doing, brother?
What's up, brother Major, man? Thank you for inviting me, man. Thank you for accepting
Real
me
talk,
in.
real talk,
Hey, can
real
you hear
talk.
me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah, this is my first time out here, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate what you do, man, and I support you, brother.
Real talk, real talk, real talk. The link is in the description, so anybody want to join, you come on
Hey,
and
hold
join
on.
because we gonna build a day.
Hey, I'm gonna turn my cam off. All right. Yeah, brother, man. I've been watching you for a while, man. I support you, brother.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you so much. What you think about the reparation situation that's been pushed? The things you learn about is what's going on around the country, because there is things going around the country that we don't speak about, right? And the reparation that is being given to some families, and this small people is not a large amount of black people, but there is some stuff I want to share this evening. And it's real deep, right? But I don't understand why we don't talk about it and why we don't try to build off this and what have you. Because there is some damage control, of course, going on, and probably even some motives. But in the end, if black people are seeing some kind of um refuge, getting some kind of remedy, not for the long term, but just right now, I think discussion should go farther. What you think about that?
Yeah, man. This society owes, man, big time. They paying everybody but us, you know. But I'm a truthfully, honestly, brother, I'm from the projects, man. I grew up around blacks my whole life, man. But, you know, I'm against reparations. And I give you three reasons why, you know.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, they didn't steal money. They stole what? Human resources, natural resources, all diamonds and gold and land, I want that back. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no money. I want what they took. I want the free labor, the natural resources, and the land back, man. I don't want their money. When we asking for reparations, that means we asking to help maintain the society. I don't want to maintain this society, man. I want to bring it down. This the most satanic, evil country on the planet, man. I'm just not with it. And my third reason, man, I don't want no old ass person on my money. You know, I don't want no white person on my money, man. Why they don't put like animals or trees or mountains or the sun or something like that, man? I don't want no white person on my money. You feel me?
Right.
But they definitely owe us, man, and they need to cut the check, man. But I'm just not down with this society, man. I'm down with all the brothers and the sisters, man, that's out here struggling and striving and fighting against this society, man. When you say reparations, okay, they owe us, right? But if if they cut the check, what the average person gonna do? They gonna go back and spend it right back with them. You know what I'm saying? Or what else you gonna do with it? That's like me, brother. I drive tractor trailer, man, but every penny I make, other than to keep my wheels greased, brother, I'm using it against them. You know what I'm saying? I'm using it against them, man. We need a black national legal fund, man. We just need to just cut this society and this government off, man, completely, man. You know. But yeah, they definitely need to cut the check, man. Cut the check. You know what I'm saying? They owe us, they paying everybody else. And you know, our current condition ain't nothing we did, it's the government. Bottom line, man. So cut the check, you know.
Let me respond. Respond to it like this. I mean, that's your opinion. I respect that. You know, I understand. So you're not for it, but when you were speaking at Twine, you was still speaking about reparation.
Yeah.
Look, either we want it or we not. And what I mean is, if we want it, we have to do something about it. But that don't mean sit still and don't go in our community and build. That don't mean we shouldn't work with each other and help each other. That should mean that we don't build a foundation of trust and love, a foundation of solidarity, you know, as well as financial literacy and community building, black empowerment. See, we watching everybody benefit but us, right? We talk about how wicked this government and what have you and whatnot. But this government only doing, or the enemy only doing what he's doing to preserve himself or herself, because they know we get in power, things will change. Now, I can't say for sure if somebody get in office that, I mean, somebody that we know we control, if we, the melanated people, control everything, that everything will be all right. I can't say that. But I can say this much here, that right now, how it's going is not working in our best interest. See, from what I see from everybody that's out to the forefront leading, what have you, I think everybody got a question mark. Everybody have shown something about to make you scratch you know, scratch your head, scratch your temper, and wonder what's going on, right? Because you see a lot of these people not working together. Our people not working together. We have yet to put together a government, a council, some kind of committee to have some kind of structure we're doing. And for them to sit down when they be in disagreement to discuss how they can bring us to our demise, control us, that's interesting.
Right.
There's too much egotism going on, and there's too much nonsense backroom talk going on, as opposed to we letting it all out, and knowing that we may disagree, but we have to agree that we have a common enemy and we have common problem. Right now, I have no faith in nobody per se in bringing this all together, because they haven't shown where they can come together. They haven't shown that they can bring people together as a whole. I ain't talking about your base of people that's fully support you. There's people on the fence. There's people that's not really sure what's going on, because showing too many different faces and what have you, right? And we have to realize our people, everybody ain't with the rah in our community, right? I feel like there's not a whole lot of diplomacy. And diplomacy is used in the weakest way. But getting back talking about reparations, I only support it because I know there was injustice done to us, right? And I only support it because I know we have grounds to push it. Because see, for people don't talk as much about what Malcolm X was trying to do. We were trying to go to United Nations. Even I heard people speak about him, but he really had a serious push. He was the first one that, you know, brought national attention outside of Marcus Garvey. We wasn't around for Marcus Garvey, right? He was really, you know, pushing. I wasn't around for Malcolm, but I remember that more and current day people talking about it. And it's like, if we don't say nothing, right? I'm gonna show you, for instance, before reparations became a big talk right now today, at one time wasn't even a big deal, was grassroots people talking about grassroots organization. We didn't hear about it that much, right? Because you know why? A lot of us said Doberman. A lot of us just was on some other stuff. And see, my problem is you have not, because you ask not, and I don't use the word ask literally. You have not because you haven't really put the effort. So you gotta realize we have been, you already know what happened to us. You know, from being brought here, the slave experience, Jim Crow, new Jim Crow, and what's going on currently. How they destroyed, how they took over the Freedom Bank and took all the money out. We know about how we worked for free wages and stuff, the games they played when we was out there cropping and whatever. We know about the red line. We know about the predatory lending. We know about the police running the urban areas once blacks left the rural areas in that great migration early 20s and went to the cities, and how whites took jobs after World War II and created suburbs, you know, and took all the business and whatever. We know about this,
stealing
right?
from us, man.
Huh?
They've been stealing from us, man.
Yeah, you know, we know about that, right?
We got to get it back, man. We got to get it back, brother. You know?
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. See, the problem I think we got, we want it in a big package. But I'm going to tell you something. When I was walking around my subdivision, I said, every achievement count. You build off achievements.
Mm-hmm.
From your first job, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
From your first degree, from your first trade you learn, from something you have accomplished, you build off of that. See, we expect the enemy just give us something. You know what I'm saying? It don't happen like that. And when they make concessions and they concede and they bend it, because they are trying to do damage control.
Mm-hmm,
See, after what happened, January 6th, they did on Capitol Hill, the white people, once they cut it like they did, after what Donald Trump did while he was in office, they know what it is. The problem is abortion in the room making a lot of noise talking about melanated people. Mm-hmm. And you can't hear nobody verse because everybody got something to say. Instead of sitting down and really discussing what's going on. So for me, I just feel like right now, I'm street fences. GMJ got locked up, right? You don't hear no more talk no more. People not even fighting no more. You got people doing their own thing, but people not fighting no more because they're focusing on helping them get out. And I'm saying that's our job, help them get out. But there's stuff going on that he should want us to do. You know, should want us to be doing and saying. We're not doing that no more. So we missing all these opportunities because we stuck on one thing happening bad, which is truly wrong what they're doing to him. And we should get behind them, donate, make sure get out. But people are dying. People are losing jobs. People are going through a lot. You feel me? But I'm looking at like whatever Bruce Beach in California, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at what happened to the black farmers, $1.25 billion to 33,000 black farmers that we not talking about. That we not even looking at how when we get money from them. I mean, excuse me, when we get reparations of lawsuits, how we contribute, because you gotta realize these very people that's getting the money from the government, getting winning these civil cases or getting reparation of the very people that's experiencing discrimination. So they should want to take some of their proceeds, invest in the community, create the jobs and create the opportunities, right? We don't have discussions about proposing certain things to these families or just getting around things that happen and then we're not talking about it enough. And so for me, I get taken back behind a lot of us just get stuck on stupid about certain things and not see the big picture. Everything that GMJ told us what was going on, we should do. When he went to jail, people stopped talking about that. They got people support GMJ Legal Defense Fund. And I'm like, I've been promoting it since day one. You know, I come out there fighting. Mm-hmm. You know, I told him, I told him, just because people must forgot what I've done. I was like you, Antoine. I was chilling. I was in the back. Y'all can see I'm not a good talker. I'm not trying to press nobody. I gave myself the move and try to help him and try to expose certain things out of people. But the problem, we sit around, expect for somebody to save us. And it's sad because even though this brother said president with establishing that even though they had black militias, he made it known, whereas this one needs to happen and risk itself. exposing so much, and people say he should move in silence, but nobody would know what happened. But now you know what's up. He know how to maneuver. But at the same time, our people still suffer because we still waiting. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, when are we gonna discuss real situations that can help us?
Right.
Because I don't care what nobody said. Jim J is walking. He's not like that. He's walking around. He's talking. You can touch him, feel him. That's beautiful at 21st century. Because in the 60s, 70s, they were snatching them up. They was killing them. They were locking them up. So we don't realize how blessed we are. You feel me? And just having them around, they still come on every once in a while. Whether I interview him, he go on a podcast or what have you. It's beautiful, but that's not the real. That wasn't the real world for us back then. Because you know why? Everybody is speaking. He wasn't the only one speaking. Everybody had been speaking. You feel me? It's just that some people character came into question in the movement because some of the things they were saying and doing. Then I said, I support everybody that's for black people. Ain't no one man and woman gonna free us, man. It's gonna take a group of us. If somebody try to leave with a dictator mentality, with not having nobody around him or her to counsel, it's gonna be a disaster. You feel me? Even this government don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? As evil it is, it still have people to mind a chicken balance. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's so much going on. Even though we were saying 3% control, this, that, nothing, what have you. But in the end, I'm gonna show you with the post being backed up, with the ships coming in, with even truck drivers, the greedy got to start up in their cash now. Mm-hmm. They gotta start putting more in the truck and more in the shipyards and what have you, because it's becoming a problem. Because you gotta remember, the quarter projection getting messed up. The profit's not being made. We look at the show, we think it's just food shortage. No, there's a problem with people not working, and that's a revolt within some people I'm talking about. People not working hurt this economy a lot. You know what I'm saying? But they criticize them people that was getting $600 for unemployment pay. With people been getting a poor wage for so long, you finally give a fair wage, at least give them $600. People got something to say about that. They've been robbing a dry $7.50 or whatever minimum wage. The people finally get a chance. Main Street finally get a chance to get $600 or more, and you hear Wall Street whining. But it's a serious revolt going on. We don't even know. It's like, as much as we talk about COVID, the global assault on people with COVID, the COVID issue, there's a global response. There is no color. People stand up and not taking that. So right now we at a crosshair. You know what I'm saying? With the 3% being in the middle, the people and the government. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's how I'm gonna look at it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the people right now standing up. We know that everything we touch almost turns to gold. We make even rock and roll and country cool, even though it started from us anyway. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But you know, from sports, we are so powerful, and they know this. You know what I'm saying? At one time they hated a black woman with big lips and a big butt and all that. Now they got the same thing. They hated the complexion. They're tan and getting dark. There's a lot of psychological stuff going on, man. But it's a love and hate relationship with whites towards black people. You know what I'm saying? But we cool. We understand. We all stand for. We not tripping. But I just really feel like we missing a lot because we are not thinking right, and we not doing things how we should be doing it. While we waiting around, scratching our head, hoping this and hoping that coming, we still got things going on around that we're not addressing. We talking too divisive. I won't lie to you, man. The last couple of conversations I had from brothers I respect, it's been negative. It's like people act like nothing happened good for us. It's like it's just all bad. And that's not true. You feel me? I don't think it's coming nearby. We ain't getting 1/4 with the oil, then we not seeing the progress we should, but there's progress around us. We never talk about it because it's never enough. Because I guess we feeling like, and I be pissed off too, but what are you gonna do? You do all that railroad, you make all that noise, and that be it. And see, what I'm concerned about is saying the wrong thing, having somebody pick up a gun and go do something, or doing something crazy. And don't get me wrong, I respect anybody that just say, I'm tired, I do what I do, whatever. I can't stop nobody. But I'm gonna be the one to tell you to do something without thinking. Because I can't explain you how to deal with you. I can't explain to you. I can't tell you what you can and cannot do. I can talk about mental health issues and what have you. And some stuff don't always be mental health. People just get tired of being tired and going through. And it just baffles me that we are largely negative about everything. And I'm not talking about all of us, but the majority of us, we don't see good because proof can be in the put. We don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I talked about Bruce Beach, in California, they can't. That governor's a part of these 11 governors, right? It was 11 governors that that vow, to 11 U.S. governors say they are committed to paying reparations for slavery. 11 U.S. mayors say, I say governor, I mean mayors. 11 U.S. mayors say Friday they're committed to paying reparations for slavery, but gave few details on how they would accomplish the task. The group led by Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti and Denver Mayor Michael Hancock announced coalition to pursue reparation. Mayors organized for reparation and equity, named more. Our coalition stand believe that cities can and should act as laboratories for bold ideas that can be transformative for racial economic justice on a large scale. The group said on the website. It said 11 cities would create local commissions comprised of representatives from Black organizations that would determine how to implement reparations. Questions that would need to be decided include who would qualify reparation, how much money would be spent, and who would pay for the reparation. The mayor said on the website, the city program would vary in style and scope, but would serve as the high-profile demonstration how the country can more quickly move from conversation to action on the issue. They know that the conversation has hardly moved beyond theory since the end of the Civil War. Garcetti said during news conference Friday that cities would never have the funds to pay reparation on our own, according to the Associated Press. We have the laboratories of the cities show that there is much more to hands than the field. We know that we can inspire the nation as well, Garcetti said. The other mayors involved in coalition from St. Louis. Now, I'm not going to talk about that part, but it was something. I just wanted to show y'all that there's articles out there right now, right, that talks about one mayor, California article, one mayor, I think it has a town of over 200 people, and they pay like $25,000 each resident for home improvement, and was talking about doing other things, right? And the Bruce Beach thing that happened in California with the Bruce family, descendants getting the beach from Manhattan Beach on property, it was huge, and people wasn't really talking about it. And let me see where it's at right here. Let me go find it. Hold on one second. I'm gonna bring this up too. Right here. Let's see.
Yeah, brother, you're absolutely right, man. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Either we want it or we don't, man. Either we gonna make up our minds and come together as one, or we not, man. But
Right.
yeah, they need to cut that check, brother. I'm talking about dexillions, man. I ain't talking about no trillions, man. I want to break the back of this society, man, because they pay everybody else but us, man. So, like you say, it cut both ways, man. Either we gonna do it or not, brother.
I'm gonna be honest. They are not gonna let you break their bread. You gotta do that on your own.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't be in a position to get the funds to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect the enemy just allow themselves to break their back Only thing the enemy trying to do is appease the situation because there can be a real civil war. You know what I'm saying? There can be a real situation, even though we making be on it losing the stick. You know what I'm saying? It can cause wreak havoc to this country as well as wreak havoc. You know what I'm saying? Overall, because when you weak within, the powers that's outside is looking in, they'll want to invade as well. You know, so but for me, is a point I'm trying to share. And I'm not going to read this, y'all. I dropped this already. It's beach to black family push to recover other seized land, right? We not talking about this. Why? This beach is worth $75 million. It was bought back in the day in 1912 for $1,200. It was owned by a black couple, and it was terrorized by the Ku Klux Klans, KKK, and white residents. But they held it down. They didn't bend a waiver. But because of Manhattan Beach property lied about they needed it for something, the black family sold it to them. But that was all because of racism and what have you. And thanks to the state representative out there, I forgot his name, but he one that pushed the bill. He pushed the bill through California legislation, and they wound up signing it. And this was Willa and Charles Bruce. See, and it was California lawmakers this month unanimously passed a law to allow the return of what was once a thriving coastal resort that catered to black residents. Racial segregation barred them from many beaches. What is known as Bruce Beach in Manhattan Beach in Los Angeles County was purchased in 1912 by Willa. Charles Bruce who built a lodge, cafe, dance hall, and dressing tents with bathing suits for rent on land that now holds the Los Angeles County Lifeguard Training Center. Invoking eminent domain, Manhattan Beach officials seized the land from Bruce in 1920. And I just want to touch. I want to read it because we need to like understand what's going on, and we need to realize that there is things that's happening that we're not talking about. That if other governors or other mayors take on responsibility, because California was a part of 11 cities, right? That was talking about reparations for black people. We are just. I have to be real. We're real negative. We're real pissed off. We're real angry, and I understand, but that won't get us to where. That won't. You know, we have to realize that this fight that we have, it's not no one person gonna win this fight. Us being all rowdy, grabbing guns ain't gonna win this fight unless you have a lot of people that's just willing to die. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because we know how they're gonna come. They got drones and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, like GMJ, so he was trying to show a sign of force, whereas not to go get the U.S. government just to protect ourselves from anything bad happening to us. But he said that he's not trying to get us killed like that. And people talk about like people gonna do this and they be talking like rah. You're not ready. You know what I'm saying? You're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not organized enough. Logistic wise, we don't really how surrounded we are. You know what I'm saying? We know the metropolitan cities and what have you. Why they got the rural areas in the mountains? They ran us out those areas, especially the rural areas, and sons in the cities.
Right.
You know, we don't. I mean, there was things Jim J said back then that people wasn't really playing to what he was saying, and logic he was talking about, right? But people were just calling him out, and even people that were supporting him was calling him out just because he picked up he organized and he moved forward on different enemy fronts and what have you. But it was strategical. Like you said, the Stone Mountain thing was like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But afterwards, it was strategical, right? Well, everything was strategical, but in that sense, he said, did they have no privilege or what have you? But I'm just saying that we have to know, we have to understand that there's nothing wrong with using diplomacy. There's nothing wrong with moving a certain kind of way. But I think where we really messing up at, we not owning as much. You know, I don't want to say we don't own nothing because you got black people own land, own business, and what have you. But we not owning nothing. Like Jay was talking about the town and what have you, and so forth. So I'm not gonna suggest that, but that's a strong possibility, especially getting our land and what have you. What I mean by the town and whatever, because I drive trucks, y'all, and I go to some of these rural areas, man. You can see, you know, who controls and how it feels. Even the predominantly black be poor. So you see how the urban area look where you go through a white neighborhood looking beautiful, and when you drive through the black neighborhood look bad. Parts of it, you know, the same with the rural areas. You know what I'm saying? And I won't lie, they have a strong hold. You know what I'm saying? They have a strong hold on that. And I'm letting you know, I'm letting everybody know now. You're invited to come in the you're invited to come in the on the panel and to talk to us and drop another link. I don't do this oftenly because people be saying, well, why you never invite nobody on the channel? You know, well, I'm inviting you now to talk. What's up, brother Urban? Talk to me, my brother. I said, Urban, Antoine, what's up? Talk to me. How you doing?
Bro. I'll be out here too, man. I see exactly what you're talking about, man. This I look at it like this, brother. It's all stolen land. They here and they took it, and that's how they maintain it, you know, through bigotry and corruption, brother, and such summary executions, man. You know, it ain't theirs. They know it ain't theirs, and you know the bill is due. You know, I got bills I don't want to pay neither, but the bill is due. But like you say, we can't. You know, it's gonna have to be some finesse. You know, we gonna have to finesse it. You know, we gonna have to come together. We gonna have to get political. I have absolutely no faith in this society, brother, but we still got to play the politic game, you know. I don't know, man. Either we go come together or not, man. You know?
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you my honest assessment. And this from, and I'm in my 50s, right? So I've been around a minute. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you what I see. If we was like everybody else, from the Jews, Asians, Arabs, and Middle East, even the Mexicans, right? I went to warehouse today, right? And this guy, he needs some drivers, and I told him, no, by my way, I'm doing my online thing and what have you, trucking thing, what have you. Say they don't have no drivers, how you want to deal with me? But check out your young white guys run the whole warehouse. And I'm about to go somewhere with this. I mean, excuse me, I said young white guys, screw me. Young Mexican guys run the whole warehouse, right? Young guys, right? And I seen how it was Mexican on and had all Mexicans in it, right? The CEO was a young Mexican dude. Let me say this. The reason why we having so much riffraff with the enemy, we having so much riffraff with the government, because we have never recaptured what happened back in the day with these great black towns like Tulsa, Oklahoma. We never got it back together. And we pointed the finger at the enemy. But guess what? Japan was hit with 2 atomic bombs and they bounced back. Right? Look what happened to China. How they kept being invaded by Japan and having wars with Britain. Look how they come back. Look what happened to the Jews and the Holocaust and how they had been targeted, right? Look how they shook back. Now, I'm not saying that the government hadn't played a part with paying reparations and helping and what have you. But what I'm saying was, within their own DNA, they was focused on building. So they capitalize on technology, or they capitalize on manufacturing, or they capitalize on the banking industry. They capitalize on something. We had a chance to capitalize on hip hop, and we still have a chance to capitalize on hip hop. But we can't put faith in them. See, we have a little social and political power, but economic, we never had strong economical power until way back in the day. Right now, we individually work separate from black businesses, from black people, from black leadership, from black community. We always work separate. We always work separate, and it's sad because
you got a point there.
If we can't come together with all these black banks, why they haven't been networking together? With all these black hip hop CEOs, why they haven't networked together? With all the Tyler Perry and all these brothers in Hollywood, why they haven't come together? Now I know they're supplying jobs. I know they're doing special things, but to really get respect, you have to show unity. And I'm not talking about no freaking numbers. I'm talking about the money. That we can sit together and come together and do this. I'm so freaking tired of talking to everybody in this movement that think they have the answer. It's so freaking it's so egotistical. They think they got it and they know it, but they haven't showed me shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see a glimpse of nothing. I want to see it in full. We have to be ready if we do anything that address this government head on and not be ready when they come at us.
Yeah, bro,
you got billionaires,
right, I say you right, man. When you said about hip hop, like, I mean, they've been in the rap game for what, 60, 70 years. They don't even got a thug mansion, man. They don't even got a rap museum, you know. Like all the rappers pitched in to build this one institution, like just one institution in this country. Like ain't none of them did it. Yeah, bro, you absolutely right, man. Shit, I don't know.
Say, bro, but you know what? See, even the ones that got money still suffer post-traumatic slave syndrome. They still, even with the conscious movement, it's still with that problem. Like it's there. We show more hate towards our people than the enemy. We talk shit about our people. Excuse me, I want to thank Cyril Lilly. Shout out for the super chat. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I'm putting the links already in there. You just hit the link, click on like brother Antoine. They hit the link and come in there. I'll just send to you individually. It's in the chat. Anybody want to join? I'm sending links in gradually. Y'all just pop in the and backstage. I'm gonna pull y'all up. But the link is right there, sweetheart. Hit the link. Come on in. Anybody come talk. When we talk about reparation, we want to talk about anything. We talk about anything. But see, we won't get no reparation. We won't get nothing. Talking about all that. All that's good. But they don't respect us. You know why we don't respect us? It's all saying. That's why I'm gonna get street on you, baby. How you want me to respect you if you don't respect yourself? We complain about people come over here and treat us bad. Look how we treat each other in the community. We killing each other. We stealing from each other. We hating on each other. We don't want to help each other. We rather see black people do bad than good. So when the Arabs, the Asians, the Mexicans come in, even the brothers and sisters from the island of the continent treat us like what have you, because the media already they program how messed up we are. And we know the enemy created all the violence and the chaos in our community. But at the same time, we still don't want to go in our community and fix it. We want to get in our nice cars. We want to go to some of the nicest places and just live, right? But then we'll get behind the computer screen and talk about the movement, but don't want to go meet the people. People want to touch you. They want to feel you. They want to know you're sincere. People want to see you take your money and put in the community like people putting in you. There's too many withdrawals and less deposits. I'm going to give you credit for whatever you did in the movement, but you better be consistent. Because I'm not giving nobody credit for no one or two things. This is a lifetime duty. I just don't understand people. But I'm going to tell you something too. A lot of us lack humility. I swear we lack it.
Right.
I swear, I'm serious. And I don't want to toot my horn. Let me just shut up. Let me be quiet. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I be simple for a reason because I don't believe in trying to talk over nobody's head. I don't believe in going there, but I don't like talking about me. I want people to talk about me later and let you know about what I'm about. But it's sad to watch, watch movements and watch things take a U-turn and watch things don't work out like it should. And we fighting among each other. Still, somebody just take the mantle, just do what you gotta do. People making fun of Jay and this, that. Well, you do it.
Right.
I mean, a lot of time we just not right, man. It's sad that we spend over 4.4 trillion every year, but we don't own land like we should. We don't own properties. There should be that many poor people living on the streets. There should be all the violence and crime in our community. What the hell is going on? I'm getting tired. I'm really getting tired. Sometimes, I'm like, damn, sometimes I get mad at a black person. I'm like, damn, that's how they want to get mad with each other. They want to just want to fight each other. But sometimes I can help be like, God damn, I'm getting tired of you playing on my tongue. I'm getting tired of you talking that kind of way. I'm getting tired of you thinking that I don't know nothing. And you get tired. That's why I understand some people don't want to go in the same room with other people because they're so disrespectful. They don't know how to talk without cursing and talking crazy to you. You hear them, boom, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're shooting, you're wrong. You don't do the enemy nothing. Well, any man told me crazy like he just effing over me all kind of ways. But my whole point is we have to deal with our people before we have to deal with the enemy. Our people is in such a state. Even those who know I've met, man, it's really off on some levels. And I'm being real with you. I just don't understand what's wrong with smiling. What's wrong with laughing? What's wrong with talking real to people? What's wrong with just showing love? What's wrong with just doing what's right? We all will die. We all will die. That's a guarantee. But while you're here, what you gonna do? Let me share something with you. I got the picture, but look. Nobody talked about, is it this? I'm trying to see. No, it ain't that. All right, yeah, I won't pull this up, right? It was like, oh, black U.S. farmers awaiting billions in promise debt relief, right? Say just 2 generations of our slavery by there was this Boydton, Virginia. There was a time when black farmers prospered. Just 2 generations out of slavery by 1910. Black farmers amused more than 16 million acres of land, made about 14% of farmers the fruit. Their labor fed most of America. Nowadays, fewer than 4.7 million acres. Black farmers in the U.S. plummeted from 925,000 to fewer than 36,000, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture latest farm consensus. And only about 1 in 100 farmers is black. What happened, right? And they were able to overcome the broken promise of 40 acres and mule to newly freed slaves. Military order later rescinded, but over the last century, they faced one obstacle after another because of their race. Farmers need loans to expand, to buy seed, to bridge time between harvests. But lenders, chief among them, the USDA, often refused to give them money, often rushed to foreclose. Suppliers and customers undercut them. Laws of inheritance led to breakers of homesteads. Now the government wants to make amends by providing billions of dollars in debt forgiveness for farmers, called as part of pandemic package relief. But as a judge has put the money on hold and faces lawsuits filed by white farmers claiming the program is unfair, reverse discrimination. Now I don't want to go too far with this, right? But I read somewhere where they was awarded this, right? So I don't know if this is the same order, what have you, but I'm trying to go somewhere with this. And I want to read the whole thing. Y'all need to check this out, real really about the black farmers, U.S. black farmers receiving 1.25 billion. Y'all need to check this out. It's things happening around us, right? And it might not be as colorful. It's not. It may not be what we want or what we should get, but it's something. Siri Lily, I'm sending it. I put the link in. I don't know why you can't come in, sweetheart, but on the link I'm putting in, I'm about to drop it again. Click on the link and come on in. Anybody welcome to come in and be a part of the conversation. Our brother Antoine in the building. I mean, this brother been supporting since day one. I really appreciate Antoine, but let's talk about that, man. What you thinking about black farmers? They said waiting billions in promise relief, but debt relief, but from what I read prior that there was already awarded to something like that. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that?
Yeah, I think they are lowballing it, brother. I think it's in the trillions, brother, the dexillions, man. They've been doing that, like you say, since day one. And you know, bottom line, end of the day, it's all about weaponry, man. But I don't know. I think we'll get farther, man, if we cut this government off completely, man. Because, you know,
How you
like
how you do that? I mean, tell me. If you could tell me how we can do that, let's roll. My thing is this, right? When you say stuff like that, you when you say like cut the government off, tell me how to do this right logically. Now, just don't talk out the side of your head because some people just say things and they don't really be thinking about what they're saying. And I'm not saying you one of them people. Do you pay taxes?
do we pay taxes?
Do you pay taxes?
Yeah, I pay them. I
And you
pay
know
them.
why? No, you know why we pay taxes, right?
Right.
Okay. So you being a taxpayer, and even though you're being discriminated against, you feel cut the government off. And I want to explain why we can do that. We'll change our situation. Because see, when you think you cut the government off, the government will always be present, whether you're in another land or not. You know what I'm saying? So, they became more clever in how they deal with us. We think they're manipulative, but it's far beyond our imagination how they move. They use the media. They use a lot of fake missionary or they even use your people to know what you're doing, where you're going at, what you're about. It's hard to really say that, but I'm gonna say this. Tell me how we can. I want to hear first. Before I say that, tell me how we can do this.
All right, like you say, brother, either way it go, you got to deal with the government, right? To say we vote, right?
Right,
Instead of everybody voting willy nilly, we come together and we find out who gonna vote for who, right? Say just for example, you vote for who you vote for, I vote for who I'm gonna vote for. So me and you, we come together and we strategize it, you know. So we still got to deal with them, but at least we on the same page. Okay, we go do this way, and then we move to another example. Like you say, pay taxes. Ain't no way around paying taxes unless you claim like some what is that indentured uh uh some indentured person. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't got to pay taxes. But like the Amish, you like take the Amish for example. You know what I'm saying? We buy our land. We uh, build, like you say, build our own. You know what I'm saying? We stack because, like you say, money that's a tool of control. So it's like me. Instead of me, I got a budget. Okay, I give myself about $100 a week, right? I could spend that $100 at fast food all week, or I could go and buy my own food and store my own food. But the difference is I ain't paying the fast food people. Instead of me going to them, say I come to you and I buy uh some personal hygiene products. Like you say, you got to chip away at it. It ain't like I'm saying, oh yeah, tomorrow we just go stop fucking with the government. You know what I'm saying? But like you say,
But
we develop a strategy. You know what I'm saying? We develop a strategy. We work together. We congregate together. Like all these other groups, they got, they got help. They had help from day one. Once they come over here, they classify them as white. They get help, but we don't get no help. We the only people in the society that's working, but we working not together. So, like you say, some of us working against our own best interests. So,
look,
like you say,
let me say
it's
this.
achievement. Once we build up that momentum, then we can look at like the bottom line. Let's cut these fools off. But like you say, it's
Like you say,
achievement.
some of us working against our own best interests. So, like you
All
say,
right, my brother.
achievement. Once we build up that momentum, then we can look
Hold
at
on.
the bottom line. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I was hearing Siri Lily background. I kind of muted till she get her background right. I'm listening.
Yeah, but I'm on page with you, brother. Like you say, one achievement gonna lead to another achievement. Another that achievement gonna lead to another one. That's what I mean. Like, who printed down money? Whose men is it? You know what I'm saying? Who stole everything they got? So when I say that, it's down the line. It ain't tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to. I don't know. I should mute. Well, let me say this. I'm trying to unmute your mic. You guys yourself muted Siri Lily because I had mute. I don't know if it's. I'm gonna try to put it on and put it back on. I'm trying to let it come in. Siri Lily, you can hear us? Man. Unmute your mic. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that stuff confusing at first.
But let me say this. Let me say this. We tried it already. Believe it or not, black people got the point where they wasn't dealing with the government at all. I'm not lying to you. We have no plan. Like it was just whatever. Like, and I feel like that been tried. Us not dealing with the government. A lot of us wouldn't apply for something. A lot of us wouldn't vote. A lot of us wouldn't. It was just a thing. Whereas what you saying, we've been saying for years. F the government don't want to help black people and so forth and so on. But I know people like myself have benefited. You know what I'm saying? From grants and whatnot. That's how I started driving trucks and what have you, getting a grant from the government. I just feel like you have to know how to work the system.
Right.
You gotta know how to work the system for one, and you gotta also understand that this fight is a fight, whereas it's really a chess game. People keep talking about chess, man, but chess is a game where you think. When your opponent make a move, you don't get emotional. You try to find ways how to counter that. And I think that's the big issue. You know what I'm saying? Is the fact that when we wasn't dealing with the government, we were just doing our thing, wasn't voting, whatever. We wasn't progressing on a level we should have progressed because we wasn't coming together to do it. Right now, a lot of black neighborhoods refuse to open grocery stores, clothing stores, gas stations. I'm talking we can come together and do this. You have some black people that's sitting on some cake and got money, but refuse to do that. But let me welcome Job Biggs in the building. How you doing, man? What's up?
Shalom,
Biggs,
brother.
what's up?
Mate.
Shalom, how you doing?
Shalom, how's it going?
What's up, brother Biggs?
Shalom, brother. Shalom to
Uh,
the brother on the panel.
Shalom.
As
what's
well.
up,
How
brother
your brother
Big?
doing?
All right.
I just
Hey man, how
wanted
you
to
feel about the discussion we having
speak on the
tonight?
topic. I just wanted to speak on the topic, give my little input. I want to start off by saying I hate the saying
Hello? He fell off. I'm sorry about this. Sarah Lily and Bro Big, y'all come back in the y'all come back and be a part of the conversation. I'm sorry about the mishap. When you came on Siri, there was a lot of noise in the background. I kind of muted you. Then I unmuted to talk with you. You never it never came back through. But I'm putting links, description. Y'all join the conversation. Please join the conversation. How you doing, Sarah Lily? What's up?
Hey, I was really trying for you guys I was really trying for you guys not to see my dirty room. I have been studying. I study international law, and I'm also studying international journalism. Hey, I was really trying for you guys. I was really trying for you guys not to see my dirty room. Also, and it looks like I'm on a lag.
You got to cut your radio on. You got to cut the background.
International journalism. Hey, I'm really trying for you. The Alphabet Gang is messing with my feed. I was really trying for you guys not to see my dirty room. This is really weird. International journalism. Hey, I do believe the Alphabet Gang doesn't.
Sarah Lily, you got to cut that phone in the background. You got to you have something else planned.
Yeah, everybody having difficulties.
Yeah, the brother.
Confusion, man.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's much better.
All right, I had you up on the other tab. So yeah, that was frustrating. So I forgot to turn the other tab off. So the Alphabet Gang is messing with my feed. Okay, I may get cut off again. They also cut him off, I noticed. That happens a lot. There is something I need to tell people. Again, I've been studying. I got a lot going on, you guys. We have been working diligently to get in touch with the Human Rights Commission of Detroit. The day after I dropped my latest YouTube video, they finally allowed Brother Ramzu Yunus out of prison. They kept him for 8 days without.
Good.
That is the third time he has been arrested by the Detroit police. The first time in 2016, they beat him so badly he had to have reconstructive surgery. So there's a lot going on that most of our people don't know about, okay? And the reason we don't know is because this information is being suppressed and censored. The same way they just messed with me. I had to change devices in order to jump into this live YouTube. I was on one device, had to leave that device and come to a different one. And again, I do expect they'll cut this one off soon. I did want to make a comment about what you said, Major, and you're 1,000% right in everything you said. And I rarely agree with everything anybody says. I don't agree with everything Grandmaster Jay say, but he on the right track. And there's nothing that he's doing that I'm going to go up against him, because we are all imperfect. The United Nations, and this includes 193 countries, not including the U.S., even though they signed this covenant. The United Nations has, because we are all, somebody else has got feedback. So that's what.
Hold on, Siri. Hold on, Siri. They gotta cut your device off in the background. You're echoing. Cut the device off and mute your mic till you speak. You got some noise in the background. Somebody got extra device on. Listen to the show. Y'all need to silence it. I'm sorry, Siri. Siri, you can speak.
100 Black Raul, turn your mic off.
I did. Can you hear me? I did.
100 Black Raul, could you please cut your mic off until I'm almost finished?
Mine's is off. I mean, can you hear me? Mine's is off. What?
I'm gonna mute him. Oh, we can talk.
There you go. Okay, he cut his mic off. All right, what I was saying, in response to other ethnic groups, the Mexicans, the Asians, and I've read about this extensively in sociology, they still have the family dynamic in place. And this is why they have an understanding of what unity means. Black people kick their children out at 17 and never let them return. If they do come back, they're ostracized or considered sorry, lazy, or some other title. It's not allowed. Jewish people, their kids live at home with them until they buy them a house, and then they move out, even if they have families, wives, and children. Asian people do the same thing. Asian people allow their grandparents to babysit their grandkids. There's no such thing as a daycare center. There's no such thing as an old folks home. Black people are the only people who participate, and European whites are the only people who participate in these types of institutions. We have adopted a culture that does not belong to us. This is why we are unable to unite. The only thing I disagree about is that they're not successful because of their culture and behavior as far as how they do things. This country is currently going down. It has been for some time. And the problem I have with my own people, as you know, Major, I give Black folk more hell than I do white America, because we are considered a special population that is like short bus people by 193 countries. And that's not our fault, but it is our problem. Our children are hopeless. Young boys, young men, I don't like the word boy. Young men are killing each other. I just went outside last night or night before last, where two young Black men were shooting at each other and one was murdered. I live in what's called a freedman's town in Houston, Texas. And I will tell you, it's a 200-year-old settlement. And the same way y'all heard about Sugarland 95, the graveyard that was over there, the same thing happened right here in my community on Allen Parkway when they built the Federal Reserve building. They dug up a graveyard, which was, they didn't even know it was there, and found dog tags for the Buffalo Soldiers. Black military men, they set a building on top of it, a condo building on top of it as we speak, because it has been forgotten about. This is not publicized. That's why people don't know what's happening. However, there are many people across this nation who are fighting for reparations. As I said earlier in your chat, Major, and I'm almost finished, I'm gonna shut up. But as I said earlier, I just watched a tribunal that even Sister Elena and I did not know was occurring in Chicago. And these were the original SNCC members. It could have been the Fred Hampton group. I don't know. But it definitely was. I'm talking about the son of Fred Hampton, not the gun club. Fred Hampton Jr. has said he wants nothing to do with the Fred Hampton Gun Club. There's a reason for that, but that was suppressed. You have to know that the things that are happening, the truth, the real truth, are wins, because we're winning. Our wins are not being publicized. They're not. Major, your channel is suppressed. Even though you were able to gather so many people, they didn't see you coming. You gathered your people before they saw you coming. I'm thankful for that. So we're winning. There's no lose for us. It is our time. All we have to do is stop fighting each other. So that's why I'm here. You're 1,000% on point. And that's really what I wanted to say. I yield the floor.
Thank you so much, Sarah Lily, for sharing that. I believe we all need to speak up. I believe we should stop being less negative and more positive. And I want to just make a quick mention to Brother Antoine when he was speaking about, what they paying or giving to us is not enough. Well, the mayors had told her up, like they were talking about mayors broke on their mayors back reparations that could cost 6.2 quadrillion 150 million per descendant, right? So I won't let him know they do acknowledge. I'm gonna read the article, what have you, but let me see. I'll run through a little bit. The nations met on Monday back a national call for reparation to 41 million black people, a program that could cost taxpayers 6.2 quadrillion. The U.S. Conference of Mayors released a letter backing a Democratic plan to form a reparation commission to come up with payment for slavery. We recognize and support your legislation as a concrete first step in our larger reckoning as a nation. Next step to guide actions of both federal and local leaders who are promised to do a better by our black residents, said the letter from conference president Greg Fisher, Mayor Louisville, right? I'm gonna stop right there, y'all. And I'm going somewhere with this, right? See, I see somebody in the chat said they'll never give a reparation and never do this. I don't see when you say things like that, you speak in existence. Like black people would never unify. Black people will always hate each other. We speak things in existence. We know it's bad, but it's even more bad when we talk like this. I am an optimist. I'm not a pessimist. I'm very positive in my thinking. When I find myself in a negative conversation, thinking negative, I get that out of my life. I call the Most High to get me centered. But I just wanted to talk about that what the brother had said and twine about it's not enough. Yeah, they know they calculating this sin, and this might be more than that, right? But the point of the matter is, if we can't come together and really build wealth with the exception of also pursuing reparation, because we don't be respecting, we respect ourselves. We're not coming together. We are very negative. We suffer from black mental health in such a serious way that I can't say in words how post-traumatic slave syndrome is affecting all of us. I can't say, but I'm telling y'all, we have to change the way we thinking, the way we talking, the way we acting. If you believe in the Most High, you believe in the Creator, you believe in the higher spiritual source, you believe in yourself, you believe in your people, you never know what can happen. But I'm gonna bring Black 100 Black Real on the building. How you doing, brother?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
I hear King. How you doing?
Okay, cool. I'm doing okay, bro. I was just looking up. I was trying to begin with the information with the black farmers, but I guess I'll begin by saying that my grandfather still has like 90 some odd acres out there in Louisiana. You hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
You can hear me? Okay. Yeah, he has about 100 some odd acres out there in Louisiana. It takes a matter of me getting with family to really see what's going on. I haven't really been serious with that. But I want to say this, because like I said, I don't want to hijack the conversation, bro. So I want to stay on point. I would say for us to do everything, to do anything. I mentioned centralization. I know that's an annoying term, but I'm going to mention what my perspective, okay? Centralization. Black people are all over, let alone the planet, but we're all over the United States. When actually enslavement began in the South. Okay, we all didn't come from Africa. We might have came from right here in certain areas here, but as us being the color that we were being enslaved. Now, that's where we began. Now, my opinion is this. We're all over America. So we have money all over America. When we compile what we have as trillions, it's all over America. Some people doing good, some people doing better than others. Now, with that being right there, we're also divided by material things and what we gonna do the next day to eat. I got mine, you got yours. We're all in a separate mentalities. So we have actually created jurisdictions within ourselves, within our own communities. We have also redlined our own self by going along with the program of being here and there and everywhere. Okay, because I know on the black flight from the South, when they went north and when they came westwise, you know, everybody began to do a little better. And what's happening? Once they begin to get new things, they skin and grin. Okay, and it gets deeper into I got mine, you go and get yours. Well, I can understand, I can comprehend that, because if the jobs are open, a person should be working. There ain't no reason why he shouldn't be doing. He shouldn't be doing anything where he could be working. It should be working. Because, like I said, being here from Silicon Valley, I know when the electronic plants open up and see Siri Lilly's in Texas, she know what I'm talking about. It kind of went from California to Texas because you had Texas Instruments and things like that. When it opened up like that, people go various places. They forget what's important, or they don't keep in mind what's important. See, didn't begin the way that we are now. We were pretty much collective. We had a few towns that we all lived in. Okay, so if we were all collective, what's happening here is we begin to buy certain things, get certain things, and the housing market rise up. A house we bought, say for example, a house was bought maybe $10,000 or $15,000 in 1956. Now the house is worth more than a black man or a black woman ever had. And then you also, so you have to put all this together, because like I said, I'm not going to take too long. Then you had the feminism that came through that actually separate families really more than anything else. Feminism did that because it started making the black woman feel independent outside. See, there's a lot involved outside of being together in the family. So you start getting conflicts there. But my real point is this: what we're going to have to do in order to do things, because it can go way out there. Like I said, I'd write it better than I can actually explain it. We're really way out here. We're way out here to where we could come back, but we have to realize the sacrifices that we have to make. When I say the sacrifice that we have to make is the material lives that we're living in order to go back there and do, as I heard a couple of you say, to rebuild. Okay, and rebuild, that's what it's going to take. Okay, you got $1, I got $1, whatever the case may be. We begin there. It's going to take many of us can do this if it's trillions that we're losing. Okay, now it takes that sacrifice. It takes, because right now this is the perfect time to say, hey, do or die. We get ready to go do this. Okay, because you got white people, you got black people losing their shit. Okay, so I'm just saying, between now and the next couple of years, between now and the next few months, it's the perfect time for people to get ready to start back and say, we're going back here to do this. Yeah, of course they blew up Black Wall Street. Of course they messed up townships. But then again, we're going to have to get to the point that we're going to do this all over again, because you know why? The system is sliding. What we were comfortable with, what kept us complacent, is sliding. So we can't stay in there. You heard many brothers say that, so-called Christian, Black Israelites. Many brothers have said that. Even Grandmaster Jay has mentioned this. We have to come out of a comfort zone and we have to sacrifice, because the world is not going to be the way. It's already not what it was before. We're out of that complacent era. So I'm just going to stop for a minute, so maybe I can get a little breath here if you want to talk more on that. But basically, it's going to take sacrifice, bro. It's going to take sacrifice to get and centralize. It's going to take this.
Thank you for that comment. Cyril Lily, you want to step in? Cyril Lily says something, she has something to say. There is a number you can call, 770-852-0713. If you don't want to join by hitting the link and coming up into the live itself, you can call the phone number and speak briefly about the conversation itself about reparations, because I really believe it's sad that we talk about reparations, but things are happening around us and we're not talking about it. I think it's sad that because we've been mistreated in the worstest way, because they owe us so much, that our anger is like hell with that. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough. And one bread I understand, and next bread, like, nah, we still have to be humble in this fight. And we have to understand there's people that's not able, like we are, that need that money. We have to think about not just us right now. We have to think about our kids, our grandkids, and future generations. Cyril Lily, can we like to talk about, if you want to come in and say something?
I mean, I agree with everything you said. I agree with that. The only thing, like I said, the one thing that I go easy on my people about, or our people about, is the fact that they don't talk about it. And there's a reason for that. They don't talk about it because most of us don't ever hear about it. You'd be surprised how many people don't know about the Bruce family, even though you've reported on it, I've reported on it. But I mean, we're a small portion of Black America. I've got, from my business, I've got, some Black customers who are, let's say, middle class, lawyers, retired people from the military that I sell my products to, and they've never heard of Grandmaster Jay. I'm talking military people who've never heard of Grandmaster Jay. Also have never heard of, they don't even get on these YouTube streets. So for that reason, much of what happens doesn't get reported. Now, even the things on the news, Grandmaster Jay has been on the news, and yet there are people who have never heard of him. When I talk to people in my community, and I live in low income housing, I'm just going to say that up front. But it's a situation where I shouldn't be in the position I'm in. I'm here because of state sanctioned, what's the word I want to use here? State sanctioned, the fact of the matter is I have a felony. It's a non-violent felony. Grandmaster Jay's stuff is non-violent. And yet, if you are Black and you live in the United States, if you spit the wrong way, you can catch a felony. What that does is that lowers your economic ability. It's hard for you to get a job. Truck drivers cannot get a job with a felony unless you have your record sealed, expunged. And if you can get a travel out of the US, Canada won't let you go to Canada. You can only drive in the US. See, so there's a glass economic ceiling that all of Black America has been put under. And I tell people all the time, you will never, as a Black American under this politicity, ever will you see Rockefeller money. We praise, Jay-Z and all these people because they have money. And we think that that the reason why you have money is because you're smart. Most of the time, it's if you have money in this culture, you have either beat the system and then they're going to come for you, or you have joined them. You have been successfully indoctrinated and you keep your mouth shut. Basically, you've been castrated. Okay, you play the game the way they want you to. When Bill Cosby stopped playing the game, and I'm going to do a video soon on the original Bill Cosby show. When Bill Cosby stopped doing his original show, instantly he got that Jell-O pudding endorsement, and it's been upward for him from there. He could do a lot. But when he began to try to buy NBC so that he could go back to what he started from, which is telling the truth about what's happened to us, including the indigenous, he was castrated. And I said that word because that's what they do. They shut you down. You're not allowed to get any farther up that chain, that ladder of success than what you're allowed to. It's a glass ceiling. There are only certain groups that can do that. We want away from that. It's not hard to do. There's a vote happening right now. Grandmaster Jay don't have to hold a vote. He got all his people. And that's why they shut him down. We're holding a vote. Detroit held a vote. Detroit, the brother Ramzu I'm talking about, that they've done what they've done to him, he has 200,000 votes from the city of Detroit, the people in Detroit. The mayor only has 50,000 votes. That would mean that brother is legitimately the mayor of Detroit. So they locked him down, shut him down with no charges. FBI told him that what he was doing was perfectly legal. So this is COINTELPRO 2.0. And with confirmation, oddly enough, on that tribunal that I watched earlier today, part one, today is day one of it, in Chicago, an international tribunal, the United States is being put on notice that we are doing what's called exhausting remedies. In other words, you got to do everything there is to do. You go from the city courts all the way up to the United States Supreme Court when you're filing these cases, but you have to have the money to do so within this validity. It's free to do so in the United Nations because typically people like us have no money. There's only a few of us that will have to fight for the majority because our people are on the short bus. Most of our people are completely hopeless. They don't see a future. They've been talking about this in the rap industry for 30 years now, maybe longer. These gang members out here had gotten to the point where they were just killing each other because they didn't think they were going to make it past 25. Talk to any of them. I know my family members are in many of these gangs all over the country. And so they had no hope for quite some time. And the reason is because Black America turned on them. They were initially there to protect us from the dirty police, just like the Black Panthers were. And what happened? Black America turned on the Black Panthers. They believed everything was told to them by the predatory media about Assata Shakur. She didn't maliciously murder some police officer. That police officer was trying to murder her. That was self-defense. White people know this. Everybody knows this except Black America. And that's because it's kept away from us. This is why they give us stuff to be divisive over. They give us male-female fight. Well, women are this and men are that. They give us all this religion. They give us everything in the world to fight each other over. So the moment we realize what's happening, the moment you wake up, this is why so many people are mad at the woke community, because we're awake, I mean, it's just common sense. I need to say one more thing before I end.
All right.
Sister Elena went to Iran and did I guess you would call a conference. One of the Iran, their military is separate. Men and women aren't together. Okay, the women have their own military, and that's actually a better way to fight. One of the women in the women's military in Iran walked up to Elena with anger and asked, "What is wrong with you women in Black America? Why are you allowing them to do this to your children? What's wrong with you?" She didn't understand that we have been beaten for not 400 years, but 600 years since 1492. We have been beaten into submission. And eventually Black America gave up. The rest of the Americas have not given in. They're all still fighting. We're the only ones who won't fight. It's because we're in what's called comfortable captivity. All of these terms I'm using are international terms. These are studies that have been done by sociologists, psychologists all over the world. It's just news that is not used or given out within the US media. We have been dumbed down. Short bus population. I yield the floor.
Siri, Lily, I gotta address something. Hold on, my thing echoing. Hello? You can hear me?
Yes, brother, I can hear you. Yes, brother, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I was specifically talking to people that knew. It wasn't the people that didn't know. The reason why people don't know because we don't tell the people. We don't go in the community. We get behind the screen and talk. That's why we don't know. We divided because we don't want to sit down and talk. And see that notion about them holding us back, I don't believe that to the extent that people think it is. It's more, racism is more mental than anything. Yeah, it's set up. Its system is set up, but it's more mental. See, when we tell us, you gotta realize I've been in prison a couple times. And not, but you gotta understand, you say navigate, we all gotta know how to navigate. We all have to know how to navigate out here. See, I feel, my personal opinion, ain't nowhere in the world a Black person that know better should be poor. I'm just being real. The system is so easy. But you know the problem with Black people? We don't know how to manage money. We don't understand basic investing. When I was hustling the game, a friend of mine in Fast told me, keep your name low, your money high. A lot of us, we put ourselves out there. That's how we get caught. And I'm talking about the IRS convention. The government is not, they're not killing you like that. They did it to kill GMJ. They're not killing you like that. They're killing you spiritually and mentally. Because they're making you believe that it's hard. Anything is hard when you first start because we all start out poor. But I heard something too that was very important when I was taking real estate class, right? A guy said this. He said he believed poverty is more mental than anything. Meaning you don't have to set the conditions. I grew up in the projects. From the poorest project in Desire, housing project, and Samuel housing project. I mean, I could talk about how bad the conditions were. But I could also talk about how a lot of us went astray. And I give all praise to God for me to get my life together, man. You know what I'm saying? But it was not easy, but I was focused. See, too many times we distracted about these other moving factors and whatever. We speak more about white supremacy more than what we're going to do about getting ourselves together, how to navigate. We brainwash our own people every day, some of the things we say. Financial literacy always been a problem in the black community. You know why? Like Naeem Akbar talked about slaves, image of psychological, change image of psychological slave. He said we want what the slave master had. We want to be like the slave master, and then we want to fight each other like the slave master had taught us to do a create a divided cockatight mentality. In the community, we can help somebody and we refuse to. You know what? We go to parties, we go out, we hang out, we try to address each other. Every holiday, these pagan holidays, we all dressed up with heads. W. Du Bois asked, how can black people become wealthy? He looked at, after he did the lecture, he looked at a young student, he said, soon we stop buying stuff we don't need. We don't know how to handle money. That $4.4 trillion, it would reverse it and invest in ourselves, invest in our community, it would change. All this stuff is mental. It's mental. I deal with caucus, I deal with the race caucus all time on the road, right? And I stand to them like anything, you know what I'm saying? Handle my business. They haven't stopped me from making money, they haven't stopped me from growing. It's just a problem. I feel like a lot of times we cut ourselves out. Even if I give you the benefit down and speak about self-determination, and you're talking about getting other land, you still work in the confines of white supremacy. Even if we get our own land, do our own thing, we still work in the confines of white supremacy, so it still don't make no sense. Even when we go to United Nations, we still have the big five that's controlling the United Nations: Russia, United States, Britain, China, and France. All white folks, exception, you know, of China. It's China, you know, we did a colorism with China where you see the pale, the white Chinese. You don't see the dark or the fair skin. I mean, the dark skinned or brown skinned Chinese. So, you know, my thing is this whole world we deal with colorism. Look at the Middle East. Look at the Latino world. Look at the island, the dark skinned people get dealt with. You know what I'm saying? It's so much moving factor, but I'm saying it's more mental like. And I mean, like, it's just so many examples. Sure, I don't want to go. It's like I had a guy on my channel, right? They got fired. A white girl left the job, quit. The white girl came back, they demoted him and put him on a fuel aisle. I brought him my channel because I felt so bad for him. This brother never put the pin on me, never filed a complaint, never took action. So you know what that tells me? If another black person come behind him and they do that, a black person, they do him and they ask him what to do, he gonna have that demeaning, low spirit. He ain't gonna be telling the brother to fight back and this, that, and nothing. And I just feel like too many times we gullible. Too many times it's like we want to point the finger at the white man with three fingers pointing back at us. What we gonna do? We don't handle money right. We don't even plan ahead about what to really do. And those who are in leadership that have the power, those who getting the donations, those who talking about racism and so forth, so on, they're not acting in the community. I don't remember nobody coming in the neighborhood and telling my family about informing my family about managing money. talking about our history, talking about how we should come together and talk about 20, 30, 40 years how it's gonna be. Because all the stuff we seeing going on, that was planned 50, 60 years ago. We just talking about it now like it's so new. The stuff that you hear people regurgitating now, it was regurgitating way in the 1920s, late 1800s, in the 60s. This is nothing new. The problem is they've been good at keeping us focused on individual success, competing against each other. We never think about the era of Asians coming out of our community. There is probably black people that's sitting on money, sitting on good credit, but don't want to do nothing. And I'm just being real. So, you know, I can't buy the notion that it's just bad because of the, I forgot the word you were using, like I forgot the name or what have you, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel we dumbfound, but most of it's intentional. Most of that is because of brainwashing, Lord, because leadership itself is not doing its role. It's not doing its role. I think leadership is more divisive than anything. So I'm gonna let talk like when real coming.
Can I rap to you, bro?
I'm listening.
Okay. This is what I wanted to say. With all that you have going on, I listened to you express your opinions about where we lack. And like I said, I comprehend that. You know, I don't like to use overstand. I use understanding more than anything else. But I like to say I comprehend. But I want to say this. To strengthen up your perspective, just the same way I think. Black people are gifted. We also have talents. Okay, there's money, as they want to call it, paper dollars out there that really ain't worth shit. Okay, but there's paper dollars out there. See, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I just wanted to ask you, because you can head this off by doing something. You've done a few things I've seen before. You know, you went down, you talked to the youth. You and your son, which I think he's dynamite, man, on that doggone with that rap thing, with the hip hop and with the music. I mean, I love everything he's doing. I like what y'all doing. But besides family, or would you initiate with somebody to do something to where the building can start right there where you at? Right. See, I talk about centralized. I say you can be, you can start pulling people in, and like I say, I might say, okay, I tell you what, okay, check it out. Okay, I tell you what, Major, I'm gonna be down there in another 2 years. I'm gonna put it like that. I'm gonna be down there another 2 years. I'm gonna get my stuff together up here. In 2 years, I'm coming down the way. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna connect. We're gonna build it further. See, what I'm saying is, I'm one that's by myself a lot. I don't hang around a lot of people. You see, we all, like I say, you know, all our skin folk just ain't our kin. Man, look, we just ain't our kin folk. Okay. Now, let alone the white folks over there. But I'm just saying, we have some diligent black people out here. Okay. But if you initiated something, as an example, and as for what I'm doing up here, I say, okay, now, Major, I'm coming down there to bring this down here. And what we're gonna need some more black people, you know, that are gifted or able to listen, and we're gonna start putting it together. We're gonna get us a little manufacturing thing going, and we're gonna have it going on in the house. See, we can't forget about people like the Zulu Nation that was in Philadelphia. What has happened in 1921 and around that area, we can't forget about that. But see, like I said, that could be the ultimate doggone test to see if we're gonna get back to where we're supposed to be. But going back to the point where I said we were all divided in this doggone state and different thing, we set our own jurisdictions and our own redlining because we're in different places. But if I was to say, like, Major, okay, you get that together in a year, 2 years, I'm coming down there to help fill in. Somebody else is going to do this. Okay, so we got an organization. So you got to realize we're online, and we're not the only ones listening to this too, you know, but to hell with them. Okay. And we say, this is where we're going to locate. I'm coming back down. I'm coming down there to the south. Like I said, I left Orlando 12 years ago, Orlando, Florida. Well, that was more so metro and urban. But I also lived out in Edenville, Florida. I didn't know where I was at, but I did pretty good down there during the time Rodney King got his ass kicked and everybody thought they were black again, okay? And I was making all kind of African garb and stuff like that. Well, we dropped that like hot, started getting another stuff. Now we're here today with youth shooting each other. I never thought it would get like that. I knew some crazy stuff was happening because down in the South, you can get some pretty hellified messages from people that really get you to think. But centralizing, when I say centralizing, people bringing their worth, the money that they have, the gifts that they have. Some gonna come with money, some ain't. But we all get it together and say, this is where we're gonna start at. Hardcore sacrifice, because like I say, we're getting ready to come to that right now. What people have right now, they probably not. I don't want to get too deep, but I just want to say we get this begin again in spirit to where we're gonna do something. Like I say, because it's got to go down in the South.
I love what he's saying. I love it.
I will never
it.
disregard
Hold up. What's the question you want to ask me though? What's the question that you see on the question?
What are we gonna do about it?
Listen.
That's what he's saying. What I'm saying to him.
Let me say something. I've been on a campaign about credit and financial literacy about 15 years, right?
She said it.
Listen. See, while y'all talking, I'm already doing these things. These things I've been doing. And people throughout the years, people have made moves, and some coming around now. But what I noticed, our people are afraid to take steps. I have a best friend, he probably watched it last night. He finally got himself where he's making moves, right? And he see a move when he want to move. And I've been here from day one. There's a few people I just been in here from day one. I started a serious campaign, and I got proof of it. I had a house full of people, and I did their credit, right? I knocked off everything off their credit at their house. And within 30 days, I did it right. And I would try to show people how to do basic credit repair. Yeah, the currency is fake, cool, but guess that currency, then you can buy a home, you can start a business, you can feed yourself and what have you. All countries got their own fake fiat currency. That's cool. But again, financial literacy show you how to do that. You read the book by Kevin about William Roundtree, Craig is King. He breaks all. It's a lot being said in that book. See, my thing is this: if I talk about something with anybody, I did my research, I did my reading, and I'm trying to say is, you have to want to know. You gotta want to do better, even if somebody suggests to you that makes sense. It gotta take your interest to want to know. And I just feel like there are a lot of us that don't want to know, and those who do. But at the end of the day, it's like I feel like you look at our community, right? We never ever address the violence and crime. We never ever just deal with some of our hardcore issues because it's that hardcore. But when it comes down to money, the reason why I put emphasis on, we talking about 4 trillion. We keep talking about self-determination, the government, racism, what have you. But in the day, there is money we spending, and we being misguided. We keep saying they don't want us to do nothing, whatever. There's people that's people you wouldn't be surprised that's moving so nice and know how to deal with them people. It's just a lot of us are just misled or uninformed. And at the same time, those who do know better, they still do the nonsense. So for me, for what I see is, it's talking about, I'm doing it now. I've been doing it. I started this channel because I said, I don't know if y'all watched my documentary. I watched what was going on. I was not pleased. I wanted to push the conversation further. Because too many times we're not willing to go all the way. We're not willing to do what Malcolm X did, Martin King did. We're not willing to go all the way. And some of you really got to question why they even started doing anything. Because in the end, it been reduced down to the same old. So my whole point is,
I'd like to say, my oldest daughter bought her first house at 19. Everyone doesn't have the same gift. Sometimes it's your gift to do for those who don't have the same gift that you do. I realized many of my gifts late. I'm 53. I just wanted to say that I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. I just think that everyone has a different perspective. You bring a perspective that I never lived. I think I do. I think this brother does. I think Sister Cody, I think we all, Sister Elena, we all bring a perspective. Grandmaster Jay certainly brings a perspective that most Black Americans don't have because he's well trained. I said all that to say we have to work like the bees. We have to work like the ants. They are literally God. I guarantee you, no human being is going to go stand in a bed of ants or or try to do a boxing match with a beehive, because they're organized. We have to respect everyone's differences. However, we do have another opponent that is taking advantage of and continuing to create the division. Grandmaster Jay is a prime example of, no matter how high you get, they will, that is a specific entity that will do what is necessary. It is that is holding us back. However, it is us that is allowing this entity to hold us back by continuing to participate in this very conversation of, it's this person's fault. We can't point the finger or the blame at anyone at this point. We have to stop the bleeding. If you're in war and you're bleeding out, we got to put a tourniquet on that joker, and then we work out these other differences. But yes, brother, I am so proud of you for what you're doing, MajorTv. I have no argument with you. I just wanted to add, like what this other brother was saying, we all have, and that elder has another perspective that we don't. I yield the floor.
I never was trying to I never trying to directly come at anything you said or he said. It's just that on my platform, even elders say love your enemy. You know what I'm saying? I had to respond to that. So when I hear people talking about certain things about our situation, I just feel like that conversation need to go farther than that. Because yeah, we have those who just don't know no better, don't care, whatever. But you have a lot of us that's not doing right by our money. You know what I'm saying? And even if they're not exposed or what have you, to the point where we're exposed to right now. Because I understand that I'm 50, I'm 52. So you're 1 year older than me. So I've been around the moon or two. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying, in this present day right now, we have to start talking about it. I don't even want to talk about racism and enemy like that. I really want to talk what we need to do, because we already know what they're doing. How we gonna count it? And the self-determination, the damn good discussion, let's push it. Centralization, the damn good discussion, let's push it. Financial literacy, black empowerment, reparation, what have you, let's push it. I'm just trying to say why we don't talk about these things. Why we talk around progress, and then now look at how we can use this to get other cities and other places where we know it was much worse than what have you. So that was my concern. So it wasn't like directed at you or him or what have you. It's just that people don't know me, right? People really just think I just come on the scene, and people don't know how I support brothers in prison, help out, what have you. People don't understand what I've done in the community, and like he's saying, talking to the kids, what have you. I was doing that when I was incarcerated. A lot of things I was doing that people don't really know, and I'm cool with that, because I never try to come out here to send a leader, follow my way, whatever. I just want to push the conversation further, where we can have a real discussion about it, because I don't always agree with some people. I don't always agree with people when they speak on my platform, or even when I'm supporting them. But I know one thing: we share a common enemy and common problem. I have to apologize for Brother Job been on hold for a second. I know Brother Rio won't say something, but Brother Job, I'm sorry for the long delay, but we have a call from Brother Job Biggs. What's up? How you doing, brother? Shalom. What's up, man? We have a hot conversation going with Siri Lily and Brother 100 Black Rio, man. You're welcome to join whatever you want to talk about regarding reparations or how you see things.
Yes, sir. First of all, I want to say shalom to everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat. I want to start off by saying reparations. I'm speaking from a younger perspective, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my mid-20s, so I'm speaking from my perspective. Growing up, since elementary school, you know what I'm saying? With influences around me, I've always looked upon food stamps and government assistance, help, and all things like that. I told myself I didn't want to put myself in a predicament where I would need a government assistance because of the influence that I've seen around me, of you know, white people saying, why black people always want people to give them something they never want to work for, you know, or, you know, why people always think they owe them something. And it took me some while of growing to see that us as black men, in particular, us as black men, we are coming out the womb with weights on us. And we're coming out the womb with a parachute. I don't know if you ever seen athletes train, but when athletes train, they put a parachute on their back and they run the football field, you know, to become stronger runners, you know what I'm saying? And I believe us as black men coming out the womb, we come out the womb with a parachute on us, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I hate the saying, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how you gonna tell me to pick up myself by my bootstraps when I'm the one making them for everybody, but you're not paying me enough to buy me a pair of my own boots? You know what I'm saying? But you want me to pick myself up by my bootstraps. How I'm the supplier, but I can't afford my own, you know? But it's kind of like that, you know? Everybody likes to say, and I agree, that's why I agree with the sister, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got different powers, and especially sisters in particular, you know what I'm saying? It's just the sisters nowadays, they got their powers, you know what I'm saying? The sisters, they got their powers because they're trying to become equal to the man, which is an agenda that the Edomites has put upon us, you know what I'm saying? The women trying to become equal to the man. I seen this quote on Facebook not too long ago where it was, I think it was Denzel Washington, a quote out of the movie, and he was like, you know, it's something about, and why they're trying to be just like a man, but he was put on this earth to do everything that a man can't do, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I think we went wrong. But going back on the topic, to the females, they have a certain power, you know what I'm saying? That they let go, you know what I'm saying? They can, a female can love a man so strong and make a man become and be anything in this world. If he got the right female on his side, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That black man could be anything he want to be, you know what I'm saying? But that is the power that the female has forgotten, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just like, we come out the womb with a parachute on us, and people expect us to, you know what I'm saying, anonymously pick ourselves up, you know what I'm saying, when we supplying everybody else with the boots and they're not paying us enough to get our own.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you for that comment, man. Thank you, real talk. And Cyril really raised some real strong value valid issues and whatnot. Cody, you still online? Cody.
Shalom, family. Yeah, Major, I'm here. I'm right here waiting on you.
All right, you can speak, brother Josh. You can still on the line or what have you. Want me to come back to you? But thank you for on your take. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna refer to Cody. She's been waiting for a minute.
Sure. Again, family. Shalom, family, to everybody that's in the chat and to our people that called in. Shalom, brother, to you and Cyril Lily and 100 Black Raw. I appreciate y'all, and this conversation is much needed. Salute to MajorTv. Salute, Brown Brother, for bringing this conversation to the forefront. It's been a long time coming, and I've been loving everything that I've been hearing. I tell you what, I give all praises to the Most High for you, brother, and your platform for allowing our people to get a chance to engage and speak on what's really real. So to the topic that we're speaking on, everything that everyone has inputted is so true. And these are the issues that we're facing. So Akoti is just saying to you all today, here's the elephant in the room. We don't have a plan. There was a brother by the name of Ice Cube that put forth a plan and presented it to both presidential candidate at that time, Biden, and the president of the United States of America, Donald Trump. Donald Trump said, I'm willing to listen to you and I want to implement your plan if I win. Biden said, I'll listen, I'll take a look at your plan once I get elected. And so we all know how the story went. We all know who's now running these United States of America. And according to Ice Cube, Biden has not gotten back with them. So I say to you all, are we going to wait for the government to say it's okay for us to have reparations? Or are we going to take it? Like the sister Sarah Lily said, where's our fight? It seems that we have lost the fight. We have been downtrodden and beaten and raped and subjugated for so long that we have seriously lost our fight, our will to do for ourselves. And shouts out to the last caller for recognizing that we as women, we're not independent. That is not the way the Most High has created us to be. We need our men. We need our strong Black men. I'm not going to say we need all men because some of us have fell off the wagon. You know what I'm saying? So, but we need our strong Black men such as MajorTv and the brother that's on the chat, 100 Black Roak. I'm sorry, brother. You're going to have to tell me how to pronounce that name because
You're doing
it's
fine.
funny.
You're doing fine. I'll tell you one day.
So, okay, all right, it's all good, my brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need men such as yourselves that's going to stand up and say, hey, this is the issues that we're facing. How do we get past that? How do we get past it? We get past it, family, with the plan. You know, there's a bill in the Congress right now, and it's been sitting in Congress since 2019, introduced by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. And it's right now just sitting in what we call the committee, the Judiciary Committee to formulate a commission to study and develop reparation proposals. So I'm saying to you, family, is that they don't need to study it any longer. They know what happened. History has told them what happened, and it's still happening to us right now. So they can miss me with that part. But what they're missing is an actual plan. So I challenge everyone that's listening, that's here in the chat, that are just tuning in, to come up with your plan for how we use those reparations when and if they come about. And if they don't come about, then we already have a plan that we could institute amongst ourselves. Like Major said, there's millionaires within the entertainment industry, within the sports industry, and they're not doing anything. I'm not going to say all of them. Some of them are in their own way, but not enough of them are coming up with programs and ways for us to succeed and get away and be set apart from what we call these United States of America. Even though we reside here, that does not mean that we have to participate in their shenanigans. And so with that being said, I challenge everybody that's listening and in the chat or wherever to come up with an individual plan. How can you contribute to helping us move forward? We could talk about the issues all day long, but if we don't have a plan to put forward when we go to the United States government to what we call exercise our remedies, exhaust all of our remedies. If you go into them without a plan as to how you're going to utilize the funds that they're going to give you, then we still operating at a loss. We have to all understand that the United States of America is a corporation. So that's a business. So we have to do business. You cannot do business if you don't have a plan. That is why you cannot go to SBA and ask for a loan if you don't have a business plan. Where is our business plan? You know what I'm saying? We can't get caught up in the emotional aspects of they owe us. Yes, we all know that they owe us. Yes, they do. But if we don't put forth a plan to show them how we're going to institute infrastructure, if we don't come up with a plan to show them how we're going to educate our own people, we don't come up with a plan to show us, to tell them what lands we want to confiscate or we want to take back that they stole, then we're just talking. It's just talk. They're setting up a commission to decide how they're going to give us reparations. Hold up. We the people. We are the people. So where is the people's plan? A lot of people did not want to get on board with Ice Cube's plan. And I read the plan. Has anybody in the chat actually read his plan? His plan is not perfect, but it's definitely a start. There's a few things I can add to that, but it's definitely a start. So everything must be done decently and in order. Thus said the Most High. With that being said, I challenge everyone to put forth their individual talents, whatever field you're working in, whatever talent the Most High has blessed you with. Put forth that talent, write it down, and then we offline can develop a commission to put all those plans together and come up with one proposal for how we move forward, regardless to if the government pays our reparations or not. And I yield the floor. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you.
All right, you got something to say, Sir Lily?
Yeah, I just wanted, I really wanted an opportunity to address this. I have Sister Elena Porter on the line. She's currently en route on the phone, so she may not be able to join in. But I was listening to this sister talking about domestic law, and I live in Texas. Sheila Jackson Lee is my state representative. Nobody likes her. Nobody. Except for the
I've heard a lot about her.
Except for the poorest in our communities who are totally uninformed. Okay. I'm not angry at this sister because she may not know, but I need the people to know something. That sister is not working for us. We don't need any more studies. We've had 40 years of studies discussing what should we pay. That is and Sheila Jackson Lee has participated. That one gets 6,000 mail-in ballots from we don't know where every election. There have been many people who have run against her, and those 6,000 ballots is what helped. I need to say that we do vote in Houston. That's a lie. In the South, Black folks do vote. Our votes are not counted. Okay, I can't prove it, but I can tell you I know of several elections, including the last gubernatorial, the governor election. Abbott is not the legitimate governor of Texas. That white Cuban, Beto, he won that election. So none of this is legit. Nothing in this kangaroo system, U.S. jurisdiction, is legitimate. They're not doing anything legally anywhere. I challenge anybody on this panel to find a legitimate hearing of anything, including the police officers who've been charged for murdering our people, and none of them have ever received more than 10 years. And in the state of Texas, there's loopholes. If you get less than 10 years, you don't even have to see a day in prison as a police officer. You just need to have the right people. Texas and one of the, I can't remember which one it is, but one of the Carolinas have the most convoluted, and if you don't believe me, ask any lawyer who has ever practiced in multiple states. Texas, and it's one of the Carolinas, I can't remember which one, might be North. They have the most convoluted, the most you can't even, I mean, the Texas Constitution, the state Constitution is even contradictory. Don't believe me, pull it up. Since this sister here knows law, I hold you responsible for pulling up that state Texas Constitution and see if you can make sense of it. Purpose. Yes, these people are stopping us. Yes, they're holding us back, but it's because we don't read. We've never put value in reading. No one, like Major said, came to my neighborhood and my mother was a teacher. We actually have property. I'm going to develop that property. about taking advantage of this system, but I have property and I plant. My goal is to start a hemp farm. I suggest anyone who has a piece of land, start one. They're not telling you this in corporate America, but hemp is about to make a lot of people a lot of money. Forget about cannabis.
But
I yield the floor. I just had to say that because we can't depend on nothing no HR or anything else these people are doing.
Actually, land this for me. Does she know about the Bruce Beach thing where the governor signed over the beach and land that was taken from the Bruce family to the descendants? And that's about another mayor. I was exactly in the web was paying reparations to a town of people, a smaller town, and would have everything get 25,000 and then come up with some other things and what have you. Have she heard anything about that?
Yeah, the 25,000, we're laughing at that because that other thing you said about the trillions and that other brother said about the quadrillions, that's actually what our think tanks have come up with. It's more like 59 trillion, and that's very modest, but she's here. I'm gonna let her answer your question, brother. I'll say this, that 25,000 was a piece of crap, and I don't agree with it. It's a loan.
People didn't have
that was, I believe in.
Seriously, my problem is this.
Come again?
We need anything we can get. I understand it is a piece of crap, but people don't have that. I'm like,
right, but if you sign off on something and you need to know what the paperwork says. If it says I can't ever ask for anything else, that's all you're ever going to get. You see, so we have to. Go ahead.
Sister Lily, there was a $5,000 loan in Evans, Illinois. That was not worth the ink, just like HR 40 was not worth the ink that is written on.
So what she feel about the Bruce Beach thing then? What about the 75 million? What about that? Let me hear something about that.
That's perfect. Now they need to do that to everybody.
What's 75 million?
I'm talking about the beach itself is estimated at 75 million.
No, the United States owes us $59 trillion.
We're not talking about the United States, Atlanta. We're talking about a state that gave property back to a family that was taken from. As reparations.
In California, where the governor,
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, they was able to recuperate their land. Oh, yeah, that's reparations because they took their land. That's right. That's how reparations is supposed to look. But that's not the only area they've done that. They've done that at Riviera Beach, Florida. They've done it all over Georgia.
They're trying to do it right now. My land here in Texas, in Fordyce, Texas. They're trying to do that to my family's land. Right now, we've had that land 200 years.
Let me explain something to you all. And this is why I have a problem with HR 40 and why I have a problem with domestic law. We're not going to get reparations solely based on what they made our ancestors do in the cotton fields. The biggest crimes occurred after slavery, when they annexed our population without our consent. HR 40 does not deal with that. The arm of reparations for Black Americans is liberation. That means we have a right to assert collective rights. We have a right to have our own government and practice external and internal self-determination.
Correct.
We have property rights that we hadn't even scratched the surface on. That 75 million is only a drop in the bucket compared to what these bastards are taking from us.
Wait, sis. Let me just address one more thing that sister talked about. She talked about we have to prove to them that we know how to govern ourselves. We govern ourselves very well.
We have to prove to them a motherfucking thing. But all we got to do is stay back and die. We've already been governing our goddamn selves. That's the dumbest damn statement anybody can make. What do you think we did in the churches during the civil rights era?
Black Wall Street.
We formed para states. That's the correct name for it.
Slocum, Texas.
Listen.
That's why I say you have a lot of ignorant ass people who have no. You have a lot of ignorant people who don't know international law,
Wait, sis. They look. Also, brother, you got to also consider the other black towns.
Hold on. Time out.
Seneca Village.
Time out, man. Like y'all, no disrespect. Elena, you got my number, man, but don't be disrespectful like that. Nobody ignorant on the platform.
Elena on the phone. She don't know. She on the
We
phone.
don't know how to govern ourselves. We don't have to prove to them we know how to govern ourselves. We've been governing ourselves for years.
She not mad at you, Major. She not disrespecting
No, I'm
you.
saying,
She's talking,
man, but I'm just saying, though, people making asking questions. I understand how quiet Atlanta get, man, but calm down a little.
That is ignorant. It's ignorant. No, my patience is really scared.
My patience scared too.
Because of ignorance.
Yeah, and let me just say what she's talking. I'm gonna tell you why Sister Elena is over the top. She's been so stressed out. Really, y'all, she has. With everything going on with y'all, what people don't know is that Sister Elena has been carrying a huge part of the legal load for not just not for many people. And I'm not gonna mention much because I don't hear it talked about, but I will say this. Everybody was up in arms about 15,000 Haitian people in Del Rio, Texas, Major. And you tell me if I'm lying. But like you said, no one's talking about the 40,000 mostly Black American citizens who are homeless in one specific city. And no one will discuss the 40,000. I've shared it many times. I talk about it on my page. Nobody will even mention the 40,000 homeless Black Americans. No one. So she's frustrated, and I can't blame her. I yield the floor.
I'm very frustrated.
Frustrated. Listen, I'm frustrated. Just period, because we have negative attitudes. We cannot talk with each other. That's why we can't unite. I want to shut MajorTv down so bad because I know the ignorance that come out of us. I know the anger. I'm mad too. I know the law too. I know how to research back and front. But it don't change our situation. We can scream, holler, grab guns. Nothing changes. Because we don't want to unite. We always step on each other's toes talking crazy. We ain't going to never unite like that. If y'all want to side, we lay in the side. Well, I don't care. At the end of the day, if we don't know how to talk to respectfully, we don't understand that it's a we thing, it's not no one. I devoted 1 year of my life, and I got more hell from my people. And knowing people have intention to try to undermine me when I try to do all the good in the world, spend my money and what have you. This shit is sickening. And I'm getting tired of all of it. Because at the end of the day, I'm about turning my words into action. And I've been doing things people don't even know behind the scenes. But a lot of things we talk about, a lot of things we do, we don't even know how to communicate with each other. And it's sad. It's really sad. And I try to keep my peace and not calling certain things out on my own. I was just trying to tell my progress I'm saying that we don't talk about. We keep looking for things in the big old package. It don't happen like that. Sometimes it's still in a big package and you build off that. And I don't understand why we don't get it. Like I said about the 1.25 billion that the farmers was awarded. And I'm saying why we not talking about it. Nobody want to talk about it. And I'm like, damn, like, why even start a lot talking about this? I talked to Atlanta, me and Atlanta, cool. And the day is like,
Mage.
Huh? I'm listening. Hello?
Yeah. I want to say something on
it's just negative, bro. It's all negative, bro. It's all negative, bro. A lot of these movements are negative. And that's why people can't come together. We negative, bro. We don't know how to come together. We have all this energy. Like, man, people are just sacrificing their life. I'm sacrificing my life too. For this camera, talk the way I talk. Things I do. Like, man, I don't look for nobody, no pity party for me. Whatever happens, gonna happen, bro. Like, man, I'm getting tired of this, bro. Real talk. I don't need none of this in my life. I don't need none of this drama, bro. I don't need it.
Cody, you still there? Cody.
Yes, yes, I'm still here, my brother. I'm still here and
Yeah,
listening.
this is what I wanted to say. Like I say, my memory span sometimes it goes here and there because I'm free to let it go like that. Ain't too good. But I just wanted to ask you this. Well, I wanted to say this. Speaking on reparations, sometimes when it got hot, like last year, sometimes you know of a guy named T West? You heard of T West, right?
No, I'm not familiar with him, my brother.
You heard of T West? Okay. He wrote up a rough draft. He had a whole lot of stuff thrown around there. And I took it and I put it and I formatted to where it's legible and understandable. Now this is, I think it's 2 to 3. I haven't looked in there. I did on my computer. I have to go in there and find it. It's 2 to 3 forms on reparation. It's points, different points about reparation that will actually build individuals' perspectives. The way I looked at it, to where it can be rounded off, to where someone that could actually discern what needs to happen, or we can get together. It comes down to a point where it goes into steps. I could, to where you can look at the points and say, okay, we didn't have so many black people. We didn't have everybody look at whatever. We need to start rounding this thing off. Because see, when we think about reparations, like I think it was Siri Lilly, she was mentioned, she said, it's not so much about money. Talk about 53 trillion, whatever. It's not so much about money as it is a solid assurance, put it that way. And this has, I think it's 25 different points that's on hard copy that I got in my computer that can be printed off. I showed a couple of people. I remember one girl from my hometown there, my hometown side, talking about we ain't gonna get it, we ain't gonna get it. I said, look, it's not about what we ain't gonna get. It's about making the issue, putting forth the initiative to make this happen. And as it was mentioned, Trump said, he once said, he didn't think so, but he said that he was willing to look at it. See, Trump, people got to understand. See, I think they see better now. They all went for this guy we got in there now. But Trump was a dude that was approachable, okay, at that time. And so I have these 2 forms with points that pertain to reparations. And I'd like to send it to all y'all. I don't know if I sent it to Major before, but I'd like to send it to you guys. You can't look at it and say, oh, it ain't nothing, because see, I formatted to where there are points. I mean, this is on document to say we can work toward this, to where it gives us more strength to work towards something and build that what would you call that document, to where we bring them something. This is what we want, because I don't think anything's really been. They said that the reparations, the form is on the desk. They said it's on the desk. Okay, it's on the desk, but that doesn't mean shit. I mean, I don't even know what it says that's on the desk. But this is something that's basic that we can look at and say, well, we can build from there. As I say, I can format things on paper better than I can speak about it. But then you have some people that can format it on paper and also orate the measure better, So, I mean, I have this. It's in my computer. This is a rough draft of something that he made that I actually put into format that looks a little better and is legible.
Oh, I definitely appreciate that, my brother. And that is exactly what I'm talking about, a plan for us to move forward. I appreciate Siri Lilly and Sister Elena's passion for us being able to establish our self-determination. And we could talk about the ills and the have and have-nots and our issues all day long. But like I said, and I'll say again, all things must be done decently in order. I mentioned that House bill that Sheila Jackson Lee put forward only to say that it's been sitting in the House Judiciary Committee since 2019. So I say again, how long shall we wait for them to decide that they're going to give us reparations? I mentioned putting forth a plan, and I also said that even if they don't acknowledge our plan, at least we have a blueprint as to how we move forward to do it for ourselves, right? We still have a blueprint to do it for ourselves. So 100 Black Real, I appreciate if you would send that to me, and I'm gonna put my email in the chat box so I can read over it, because it says that our people shall perish for lack of knowledge. And so if we do not know about these different plans that our people has put forward to help us move forward as an individual, as a nation of people separated from the United States of America, then we will perish. So I appreciate MajorTv giving everybody a voice here tonight, and especially you, 100 Black Real, for saying that, hey, there is a plan out there, because that's what I'm looking forward to. A plan as to say, okay, this is what we need to do, and this is how we can do it. We could talk about how the oppressors have oppressed us for all day long. We know what they did to us, and we know what they're doing to us till this day. But I say again, until we have a plan to move forward, we just talking. And so it will start with every one of us that's in these individual states to adopt a plan and push that plan wherever we are, so that it can look and it feels like to our people, not to nobody else, to our people, it feels like we are together, we're united, and we can come on board with this, because we all are bandwagon people. Wherever the wind blows, we're gonna jump on it. So we can jump on it with something positive and not keep beating us down about what we're not doing, but show what we are doing, which is why I think Brother Major brought this show forward, mentioning all the different accomplishments that we have received for our people. You know what I mean? So we need to hear more positive things. And 100 Black Rook, I appreciate you, brother. And I'm gonna put my email in that chat, so you can email me that document, and I'll definitely look over it and get back to you with it, so that we can see how we can move forward. Because I'm about organizing and putting forth a plan to move our people forward and nothing else.
Yeah, because see, from that point right there, like I say, it strengthens our perspective to where we can round it off to something that we can agree with and bring it forward. That's all I can say. That's what that does.
Look, I want to
Looking for the email.
Hey, hold on. Dang.
Hey guys, I apologize. It's not about bringing any drama. I'm not. And I may have misunderstood you too, sis. The young woman, when you said that you were speaking about that situation with Sheila Jackson Lee. I don't agree that we should be trying to prove anything to anybody. We've proven enough over the last 600 years what we're capable of. What we need these people to do, these predators to do, is leave us alone, because we can.
See, now there's one thing. There's one thing.
Let me just say something, brother. I'm sorry, my brother. I'm sorry, and much respect to you, but just let me say something to Sarah Lily. I never said that we have to prove to the United States to do anything. What I said was that we come up with a plan, because where it is right now with that bill that Sheila Jackson Lee put forward way back in 2019 is still sitting there, and the plan is for them to develop a committee. And I said previously that we don't need a committee. What we need is a plan. That's what I said. So we don't have to prove anything. You're absolutely right. But if you don't have a plan,
thank you for clearing that up for me, because
if you don't have a plan as to how you're going to move forward, regardless to if they say they're going to give us reparations or not, you are just talking. What is the plan for our people? And that's what I'm talking about with all of the talents that we have, the God-given talents that we have, that the Most High has given us with. I am very, very confident that we as a people can move forward with a plan. And that's what I'm looking for us to discuss. People to commit to a plan, and then we talk about how we develop that plan offline. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes.
All praise to the Most High. Thank you, my sister.
thank you for responding and clearing that up, sister. So we don't have any dead air. The elder, did you want to continue? Because I'd like to know more about your plan too. That's what this nation is about. You know, there's several different plans that are out there already to choose from, but a nation is about listening to the people. And so I'm more than happy to
I'm
hear
gonna send you one
any.
too. I'm gonna send you guys. I'm gonna send all
Thank
three
you,
of you
brother.
one. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Elaine, she owes me a call 3 o'clock in the morning.
She's about
She
to
said,
come
"Will I be able-"
online.
Yeah, she said, "Will I be up?" I told her, "Yeah." She ain't called me yet, so
I think you're
hey,
muted, mate.
woman,
I think you're
huh?
muted, mate.
Oh, my bad. Go to bed, man. See all that flirt. We ain't having that, bro.
No, I don't call it flirting, brother. That's acknowledging. I never even knew what flirting was. Well, maybe back in the day when I was trying to.
I don't believe that. You're a man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, he
I
flirted
acknowledge
all
that.
these women. He flirted all the women. You want to know about everybody.
You see, that's old school flirting. See, it's flirting.
But
What is
let me
flirting? That's
say
an
this,
ice cream
y'all.
cone.
Look, listen.
Ice cream cone's got to be a
Look,
flirt. Flirt is an ice cream cone.
this,
What is that?
this for clarity for Elena, Siri Lily, and everybody. I was just talking about things that I know that happened.
Mm.
I know there was gonna be some backlash about it wasn't enough as a what have you, but I can't give nobody no money. Like I can give donations here and now, which I do, but to really give sometimes people I can't. And if I feel like there's something out there for us to take it. You know, that's how I feel. At the same time, push for certain terms, still push for all this. I told Elena, I'm about fighting on all fronts. I'm not fighting on one sided front. I was told when I was young, they'll put all the eggs in the basket when they drop, they break. You know what I'm saying? You have no more eggs. So, you know, I've always boxed things. When I did law back in the day, I would argue something one way and then come and get arguing another way to box it in and give them no way to come out of it, right? So to make a long story short, I was just trying to acknowledge stuff that I wasn't hearing. We wasn't talking about in the community. And if that's nothing for you and whoever don't want to talk about it, I would talk about it, whether somebody like it or not. And for me, like, I just feel like it's easy for me to disagree with you and you disagree with me. It's easy for us to do that. As opposed to understand that I'm trying to present a more of a positive narrative about something because I do feel I talk to people, right? And I say recently, and sometimes people come out very negative, don't even realize energy to what they're talking about, what have you. And like me, I'm passionate about stuff too. I'm very passionate about financial literacy. I'm very passionate about Black empowerment. I'm very passionate about doing something in the community. Because I feel like we can get all that money and blow it if we don't have common sense for handling money and making investment decisions. And a lot of us like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I want to talk about this. I covered a lot tonight, even when they were talking about when y'all talked about Representative what that is, Shirley or Shirley Jackson, Representative Shirley Jackson Lee. When I had shared this screen with you right here, when I shared screen, I already was talking about that. I just didn't left it on screen long. Is this right here? When you talk about I already spoke about how much they said they may owe 6.2 quadrillion or 151 million per descendant. It talks about all this, and on her name and stuff coming in, Cory Booker and what have you, Black Lives Matter. Man, I got the letter. I ain't talking about the letter that Cory Booker and Shirley Jackson Lee is on. You know what I'm saying? I never went that far. I just want to let you know that all is being discussed and that's out there, right? And this way it was July of 2020. So when I share it, I'm acknowledging that this is what they owe us is not even really like countable. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was just also acknowledging things these mayors have been doing, right? And if y'all see y'all study law and research law, I was playing the Cody. They got a thing of persuasive law, right? They got authoritative law, right? And authoritative law and then you have what else you got I forgot the name of argument, but you can find a case that's similar, right? Legally, and you argue and compare one case to the one case that had got a reversal one, and use that case in reference to yours. But then you have someone you don't have no legal authority behind it, or whatever case might be. You just saying, well, they did over here, we can do it over there. But we know in this case, you got international law, you got a constitution, you got state law sometimes that also invokes international laws and stuff in it. So my whole point is, if other mayors in them are looking at it and other things are happening, that can be used to be, an argument pushing for it domestic, even though y'all don't want to do domestic. Well, cool, you have to do domestic. Some people saying, well, you got to be a nation and all this, that, and other, what have you. And I'm like, why we can't do everything? Why we can't go at it all kind of ways? We can go at domestic and deal with international law. I'm not a person that think one-sided about arguments. I'm not. I don't put all my eggs in the basket, and I have fought in the federal and state court, and I have won. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's a discussion for that. But it seems like every time I have a discussion, me and Elaine are banging, sometime on these levels, and I don't like that. But I'm feeling but the most high be ready for it.
I do agree with you, Brother Major, and I think that we can fight on both fronts. I think what Sister Elena's biggest issue is that because she is in law and has studied, and she knows that the one time you win in court is when it's something that doesn't mean a lot to them. That Bruce thing is wonderful. That's what reparations looks like. But if that happened all over the country, we would be more powerful than this United States. As Black Americans, we would be the most powerful people in this United States. That's something that there are people somewhere, somehow, that don't want that to happen. Okay. And those people who don't want that to happen are more powerful than us. So it's just like I said, I have, land up several acres in East Texas. It's 200 years it's been in my family. And my son's father, the prison unit called the Ellis Unit was taken from his great-grandfather. And so we're talking huge swaths of land that will have to be returned. It's not, listen, repairing a people is about giving us our land, because right now you cannot go to a piece of property that's owned by your city, state, or government and build a shelter on it. You will be put in jail, and it should not be that way. We should have gotten the opportunity to choose how we wanted to go forth after slavery, and that never happened. They never gave us an opportunity. They just encapsulated us and call us a minority, and we are not the minority. That's another issue. I can go into so many details, but you're right. There are some things you're going to win in court, but there are the things that really mean something, that really mean, like land, lots and lots of land, or power of any kind, because landowners have power. And if you own, for instance, wherever the law is internationally, that wherever the majority population exists, that population should control their own area. However, in the United States, you have where the few control the many. Little towns like Jasper, Texas, where it's majority Black, that's where Bobby Seals is from and is currently living. The only remaining Black Panther who did not go to jail or have any problems. He didn't have no problems at all. He still lived until old age. Nobody did anything to him, but all the other Black Panthers are either dead or in jail, or did go to jail and spend the majority of their life. I'm saying that for a reason. You read between the lines. Jasper, Texas is mostly predominantly a Black area for generations, for hundreds of years, yet it's a white government that controls it. So I'm saying all of this, and they do that through something called redistricting or gerrymandering. So they tell us to vote. It doesn't work that way. We have to stand up to these people. There's a way to do it. You can hold what's called a plebiscite. That plebiscite is controlled by you. Grandmaster Jay has his plebiscite. You hold the vote. It's called, that vote is called, it's not a vote by the government or by the city or the state or the county. It's a vote held by the people themselves. And that's a real democracy. We don't live in a democracy in the United States. I don't care what they tell you. That's not what this is. Do your research. And once we are powerful people, many of us are going to be slaves. Many of us want to be slaves. That's a fact. There are some people who say, I just want to get up and go to work every day and have my insurance. I'm fine with those people too. They are worker bees. And so somebody, like I said, everyone is not going to be able to do this as a collective. There are a few of us who are going to be able to stand up to these bullies. The rest of the people, many of them don't care. And you're right about that. We have to overlook them. We have to actually take care of them like you would a child with a mental disability. They're literally a special population, not capable of being willing to learn finance. It's just not there. And we can't dismiss those people. We are responsible for taking care of those people because we're the ones who care. I'm going to let go. I think Sister Elena's on, so I'll yield the floor.
Well, let me say this. I'm going to say for Elena coming in, I'm going to let y'all gonna regurgitate the same thing I heard on many occasions from you and Atlanta. So let y'all regurgitate things and I get it. I'm not backing off how I feel and why I started talking about tonight. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like the reason why we're not uniting because we are negative. A lot of time we come off negative. A lot of time we understand why people do not want to get in the movement. Well, the same people talking about why they don't really care because how we are with each other. You know, and I don't understand why we like that. But I'm gonna let Atlanta speak.
Thank you, Major, for allowing me to speak. And I'm very sorry if I step on toes, but given the fact that we're in genocidal conditions and in a genocidal time, sometimes we have to, get the point across the best way that we can. As I stated before, the reason that we're in this condition that we're in is because of benign neglect and ignorance. I have an issue when people know better and continue not to do better. My attitude is not just coming across that way on you. I've had people that I've offended that I've worked with for several years. And when that person was in Evanston, Illinois, beating her chest for a measly $25,000 loan and call it reparations, I got a problem with that. You see, we can't occupy the same space, especially when you studied what I studied, okay, and you know what I know. That's very unacceptable. Can't be in my circle. Won't be in my circle, and I'm not going to make you feel comfortable. We have a lot of strategically placed Negroes in high places that are on payroll knowingly and some that do the work unknowingly. But I've come across a lot of people that know better and still promote and beat a dead horse. The first act of reparations for Black Americans, that is liberation. And that's something that did not happen in 1865. We are not free. We own nothing and we control nothing. Okay? The first thing that we have to do is organize and form a government, whether it be externally or internally. As a matter of fact, we already have governments. We have UNIA, we have the Republic of New Africa, we have the insular nation that we created, and any other nation that anyone else will create. These things have already been filed with the United Nations at one point in time. Since 1925. That's how long we've been going and working towards our liberation. Secondly, we don't need another study. We need to be paid reparations, and we can be paid reparations. It is our right. But the problem is we're going about it in the wrong way. You don't go back to the offender and expect to get justice. Using domestic law is suicidal. Why? Because you're asking the offender to correct the wrong. He's not going to do that. That's why he keeps every single year going back and forth on a 40-year study. We have to step outside of the box. Now let's talk about the plan. We don't have a plan for reparations. I'm sorry, we do have a plan for reparations. As a matter of fact, I assisted in writing a plan for reparations. Okay, and I'm one of the ones who came up with the number of how much we're owed in terms of reparations. Reparations is going to look like this: immediate release of our political prisoners, recognition of our confederated insular nation, and if we choose to have an external nation, recognition of that, recognition of our right to self-determination, because that was taken from us in 1865 when our population was annexed without our ancestors' consent, and every year without our consent. There was no plebiscite vote. That's a violation of international law. Next, authority transfers. We need to be controlling all the institutions that we depend on: our own school system, our own healthcare system, our own justice system. We should have been treated like the Native Americans. As a matter of fact, we were. But due to the fact that the United States government needed our labor to help rebuild the South, we were re-enslaved economically, physically, culturally, all of that. We were re-enslaved, and they used their constitution and their law to do it. So we cannot expect to get justice in this jurisdiction. So what do we need to overcome that? That means we need a government that answers to us, and us first. We need to control our own institutions. Now that's reparations. Next, we need a guarantees of non-repetition. That means in writing, through a treaty or a compact. We need something in writing saying, you know what? You're not going to do this again. We're going to dictate how we're going to be treated. That's what other colonized people do. And that's what we can do. Next, we need a legal, economic, and a political petition. That means we need to have parameters. They already have those. They already have those barriers in our communities already. We're already separate, and especially in areas like Chicago and Detroit. So what we need to do, and we can do this, is practice municipal self-determination. And that's what Ramsey is working on right now, even though he's being arrested trying to do it, but it's being done. So I'm sorry, we do have a plan. A lot of people have a plan. The fact of the matter is we have to get together and unify. We need to start having forums. We need to have tribunals all over the United States to get the word out that we do have another layer of rights. I'm not saying that we need to get rid of the rights that we have, but there's another layer of international rights to go on top of what we have in order for us to secure a future for our youth. Right now, we control nothing. If the United States want to round us up, we can't even put up a fight. If they want to round us up and try to send us to any other country, we can't put up a fight. Or if they want to cart us off the FEMA camps, we can't put up a fight. And that ain't got nothing to do with the way we treat each other individually. That has something to do with a sworn enemy. These people do not like us. We're in a hostile state. No protection. And the only way for us to get through this and think about what really reparations is going to look like, it's not going to look just like a check. It's not going to look like just a little lot of land here and there. We have to look at reparations as putting ourselves, our broken self, back together where we can build a future for the generations to come. Because right now, I don't care who think they got it going on. I don't care how much money you think you got in the bank. If that government says it's time for us to go, you want black people wiped out, it can happen. because we don't have any systems and we don't have any institutions in place. We don't have a base. So when we talk about reparations, we can't just start looking at a couple of buildings. We have to build a secure apparatus to protect us. And with that, I yield the floor.
Well, I have a couple things I want to ask you. I want to talk with you about, and I have to be frank with you about it because I definitely agree with everything you said. Where I disagree with is that you're one-sided with everything. You don't. It's like you really believe that nothing can be accomplished in the states. You believe they can they can do that if we was organized. They're that powerful, just do that. So what I'm trying to understand is there is things going on right in this country, and you're saying it's subpar, it's nothing. But we're not able right now to help our people like we want to help our people. And even what you're talking about is still levels of getting the way you're trying to go at with it. And I'm trying to say in the meantime, between time, how we fix our problems.
In the meantime, in between time, the way that we fix our problem is become self-sufficient. Number one, let's take a look at this. We need a national treasury. We should be paying a self-tax to ourselves. Put it in a pot, $1 a piece. It's 48 million Black people here in the United States. That's one thing. $48 million a month, we could buy any land that we want. We could do whatever we need. But we don't have a national treasury. But what we do is we put up GoFundMe and we donate to these individual groups or individual nonprofits, and that's no accountability in that. You have one body of people that's in control of that. We need to function as a tribal government or as a tribe. Number one, national treasury, $1 a piece. Every Black American in the United States pay a self-tax of $1 a piece per month. What can we do with 48 million per month? That's number one. Number two, we need to put our property, and that means land, cultural, biological property, into a trust. And I mean, this is a trust for everybody. That way, we'll have an accounting of how much property that we have. Right now, we don't even have an accounting of how much property we have or we have access to. We don't even know how much human capital that we actually contribute to the United States. So those two things right there, if we can have a national treasury and come up with a trust specifically for foundational Black Americans, that'll give us a way to put all of our resources into a pot and distribute them evenly to where it needs to go. We can divide the country up into regions and do it, or we could do it state by state on a county level. It's totally up to us. But those two things are some things that we need on a national level. A national treasury and a trust.
I seen Cyril Lilly say no such in U.S. domestic law ever. Can I challenge that comment she made? Thurgood Marshall had challenged domestic law and caused a lot of change. Even though we criticized integration and what have you, but back then it was horrific for us, right? It was very horrific. And he took the law, he threw in their face. We chaired the Plessy versus Ferguson, right? When they were saying serpent equal, he was saying, well, if it's like that, if a white school have new books, knew this and knew that, Black schools should have it, right? And because of that, he was able to get Black people better education, even though it was forced to integrate, right? Which we know integration was the wrong thing, but I mean, it builds our butt. But I'm saying though, isn't anything Thurgood Marshall did back then matter as far as the changes that went on throughout the history of the United States, legal-wise?
Well, if you look at what some of the things that Thurgood Marshall done, in my opinion, they did some changes, but if you really take a look at what integration has done to us, back then we had businesses. Back then we had our own institutions. And the issue was not whether or not the issue that Thurgood Marshall, when I read the case and when I looked at what Ken Clark and his wife had said, they said in order for us to be equal to white people, we had to go to school with them. That was not true. Black children are born with the IQ higher than European children. Dr. Amos Wilson talks about that in all of his studies, in all of his books. As a matter of fact, in one of his books, he based that on a study in 1970 in Uganda, where this missionary when these missionaries went out and they did studies on childhood development of African people. So, with that being said, the basis that he fought his case on, yeah, it gave us access to schools, but we gave up a lot. We gave up control. You see what I'm saying? We gave up our things just to be validated by white people. And that's the way I read his case. Now, I don't mean to sound
I'm gonna go a little deep on you.
but when I read his case, and I have my academic background is in criminal justice and in law. When I read his case, you know, it was a case about being validated, and that's the way I feel about it. And I yield the floor.
All right. What about these black attorneys, along with Johnny Cochran, that took on Coca-Cola and IBM and took the law and threw in their face how black people that had the degree, had the experience, education, were trained in whites that were later promoted over them, and because of a range of black attorneys are challenging all these Fortune 500 companies like IBM, Coca-Cola, and all them, right? That now you see black executives and black people getting these jobs, right? How you feel about that? Because they took domestic law and threw in their face and showed clear discrimination. That there's a series of black attorneys. I don't know if you know, in the 80s, 90s was when they went on a mission, even with the black farmers, a black lawyer helped the farmers get awarded the $1.25 billion, right? What you gonna say about that? Because I know some black people in China, the system was very successful in creating major change. You know what I'm saying? For black people in corporate America and so forth, so on. What you say about that?
Well, the United States has during the civil rights era, we were supposed to have affirmative action. And guess what? That same game, they went back and rolled it back. As a matter of fact, they came up with court cases that resulted in what they call reverse discrimination. So what gains were made? Yeah, you get 1 or 2 wins here or there, but to go work in somebody else's corporation when we could be a nation and have our own, when are we going to grow up?
We didn't have that back then, Elaine. I'm talking about back then. We didn't have that back then.
I know we didn't have it back then, but what I'm saying is we had affirmative action, and that was an agreement that the United States put in place, saying that you're supposed to have these many black people and make sure that we have the jobs or equal amount of jobs according to our population. Those gains were rolled back, even down into colleges, even down to when it went into different colleges. Like I think it was a college out in Texas.
Thanks to Clarence Thomas, that's the reason why that.
Well, yeah. So does domestic law really work then?
It does. It does work. It got me out of prison. I fought.
My question is,
it does work. I beat them. They gave me life. I get that time back in.
You're 1 in a million, brother Major. If you
no, I know a lot of people I help a lot of people get out myself. I will fall in love for them. Helped a lot of people get back life 50 years, 9. I did this. I see people do this. I still help people fall in, help people beat. My thing is, it's just throwing the law in their face. I'm not saying they're always on it. I agree with you on a lot of things you're saying, but I'm just trying to say it's serious. Sometimes it does work. Right now, I know you talk about national law or not, But you know, if you can beat the system with domestic law, you know you will go out and you can beat them. Because sometimes you can't beat them.
I'm willing to beat them at anything that I use, anything that I can. Throw a rock, throw a twig. It don't make no never mind with me.
Wait, may I say something? May I say something right quick, y'all? Major, I hear you, and I'm not taking it away from you. My son just got out of prison, but I'm gonna ask you this question: since you've been out, how much has the prison industry grown? You see, they, like she said, they give us these token wins so that we are pacified. So we think we're doing something, but they're making trillions of dollars off of the stock exchange prisons. The prisons of slavery, according to the 13th Amendment. According to the 13th Amendment, which we did not agree to. We didn't vote for that. The 13th Amendment says that as long as you're in prison, you can still be a slave. So they give you some wins. So you think it's like with Obama, they gave us a black president so we could go, oh my God, and think, oh, we done won. You know what I'm saying? But the prison industry hasn't stopped. Neither has the military industrial complex, which continued up until recently here to bring heroin and other drugs into the United States. But they're slowly
flood our areas.
But let me say this: you need prisons they need prisons for jobs. That's just, of course, they told to lock us up in prison. We already know what they're doing with the prison system, but largely because, like Atlanta's saying, and you're saying, we not coming together to fight against this. We're not creating the jobs. We're not going to. The reason why all this like it is because we ain't addressing the violent crime in our community. They creating all this, but we don't know how to count. We talk to COINTELPRO. Well, our COINTELPRO, why we don't count it? So when they lock us up, guess what? We taking care of judge, DA, lawyer, and prison guards. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole system where they gotta lock you up, which is a black person they're targeting, to be able to, I guess, feed people, what have you, keep this economy growing. Because that's a part of the system. I agree with you, but and I know a lot of guys incarcerated didn't care about messing with law. They want to do nothing right, and they didn't care. Guys come out 4 years later, you know, it just wasn't focused. It just wasn't there.
That's in every community. That's in black, white, Mexican, everywhere. But this is the other thing you have to remember too, with the redistricting. You got, once again, Ellis Unit here in Texas, very small town. Majority of the people in that town are black. Why? Because they're in the prison, and they count those numbers, and that's their vote. They've got those votes in the prison. The prisoners can't vote, but they can count those prisoners as population. And the majority of the people in that town are black because of that prison, because it's a very small area. You've got maybe 75 or 100, maybe I don't want to give them 175 people who are in charge of the whole town, and they're all white. Majority of the population is black, though. That's what I'm talking about.
Same thing happened down there where Brother Jay went, down there in South Georgia. That area, I believe, was 59% black, and you could count the black police officers on that police force. That is colonialism. That's colonialism.
80% black, Chocolate City, 80% black.
Let me say this, though. But a lot of that don't never be challenged. See, you gotta realize a lot of laws we left on the books. There's a lot of stuff, even when Byron Allen put the stuff with Comcast. There's a lot of stuff left on law we don't challenge. We don't challenge
something that you don't know is happening. Did you know there were 40,000 homes? Did you, Major? Did you know there were 40,000 black people in Detroit homeless? Did you even know that?
40,000.
How do you challenge something you don't know exists?
I still can't even imagine that.
Listen, boo. I'm from New Orleans and I live in Atlanta. There is even though that's a large number, I'm a truck driver. Mm-hmm. I see it everywhere. No, I'm not surprised. Detroit, of course, probably be a big number, but it's all over this situation. But my problem is this: where is the answers? My thing is, I support completely what he's doing. I'm concerned about his welfare because the machine keep coming at him, and I don't know how you're gonna be able to respond to it. You know what I'm saying? Without getting hurt or somebody else getting hurt, but getting dangerous out there. Very dangerous.
I tell you this: Both times I put my little old me, little old black woman from Texas. Both times that I reported on what happened to Brother Ramzu, they let him go the very next day. If we tell the people, that's how. This is how we fight this. We fight this by getting the word out. We don't have a media. You are one of the very few. And I guarantee you, they don't like you, brother. Be careful. Be safe out there, but they can't hurt you because it's our
I
time.
don't like me.
They can't hurt you. They try. Nothing these people touch at this point is working. Every time they do something, they didn't. Let me tell you something. They did not report when they arrested Brother Ramzu. When they did what they did to Grandmaster Jay, they did not report half of the story. They kept it silent. That's how they beat us, because we have to get out here when that happens, when stuff happened with Grandmaster Jay, Sister Elena, and I and others. We stopped everything we were doing, everything, and went to work. She does what she does. I do what I do. Her gift is not my gift. You know what I'm saying? So I do what I do, and apparently she thinks I do it pretty well. So I get the word out. I tell my mouth, I can go. I get the word out. That's what we have to do. We have to tell people.
One thing, Brother Major, that I'm seeing that we have to do, and I've even shared this with Ramzu, we have to build capacity. And that's one of the things we've come to grips with. We're going to be doing, and I'm going to be stepping in and helping him too, is build capacity. We got to get the word out. We got to get more people to sign their declaration and withdraw their consent. And like I said, Detroit is very important because of the numbers and because of the location, the water supply. Detroit is the moneymaker, and we just can't let Detroit go.
Well, I'm waiting on you, Atlanta. I'm waiting on you to hit me up. You've been.
Everybody got to do what Jay do.
Oh, I am.
Every city has to do what Jay
do. Sister Lily, let me explain to Brother Major what I'm doing. I'm reaching out to some international agencies. Again, we've gone international liberation status, and I will be advancing what we've done. I'm going to be reaching out to international agencies. There are agencies that will help us, just like they help the Palestinians. The Palestinians get $6 billion per year, and they have a less population than us. In areas like Detroit, where the infrastructure is bad, once we're organized on the local level and start, doing like what Ramzu's done, he said he's already set up his own government. It's a municipality. He has over 200,000 people registered with him. That's more votes than the mayor got up there. So that's one of the reasons that they're messing with Brother Ramzu.
And they ain't never charged with nothing. No charges.
That's messed up. But Cody wanted to come in and speak and say something. You can speak, Cody.
I appreciate everything that everybody was just said. Shouts out to Sister Elena for her work with self-determination and the internet and dealing with the international community. Shouts out to you, Sierra Lily, for joining with Sister Elena and doing that. I appreciate all of your efforts. Just want to say this, and I'm going to say it again. We cannot look for outsiders to help heal our nation. We have to look within ourselves. The power is in you as an individual. So while we can put forth these efforts towards the United Snakes of America and towards the international community, I still say, when are we going to get together and say, here is the plan? Now, I've seen Sierra Lily's response to my question about how do we do this? How do we get the word out? And she said we go door to door. So I asked both of you sisters, do you have any literature? Do you have any literature that you can share with Major and he can share with his followers that we can go door to door with in order to inform our people, because scriptures say our people shall perish for lack of knowledge. And so I am so willing, and I've spoken with Sister Elena before, I am willing to put forth the message, but we're going to need something more than just talk. We're going to need some literature, because they may not believe the words that are coming out of my mouth. But if it looks like we have our business together as a business organization, which is what we're trying to achieve here, if we're modeling ourselves on becoming a nation, then we need a plan. And so if you got any literature that we can give out to the listening audience and to go door to door with, that would be much appreciated, sisters.
And I also want to say, y'all can respond
Well,
to
hold tight. Let me respond to that.
All right.
First of all, I don't have time.
Something.
Hold on. First of all, I don't have the time to do a brochure. However, I have been teaching courses for free. And most of my students that are active, people that are active, they know enough to create their own literature. Now, what I'm doing to get the word out is I'm getting ready to redo the website. And I also got a person who is going to be creating an app that can be downloaded. We're in the 21st century. I've got to update and come up with a 21st century plan. So once I get the website up and running and get this app, I finally found someone that's going to do it reasonable. Then I think that can eliminate the door to door. You just download your app.
Elaine,
Well, I thank you, my sister, for clarifying that. You know, I mean, definitely, I think that what Major was speaking to was that grassroots effort. You know, going in directly into the community and actually putting your hands and so talking to the people in the community. And so when Sierra Lily mentioned going door to door, I was like, wow, that's very powerful. I can see how that coordinates with what MajorTv was talking about as far as going into the community. So if there is an app that's in development, that's a great start. I love it. And I look forward to seeing it, my sister.
And I'm not a door-to-door person. I never been. I've always worked from the administrative side. I mean, I can get down and get in the community, but I'm gonna be honest with you, ain't my bag. I stick to what I do. Been doing it since 2012.
Elaine, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about what I talked about tonight in reference to the things that have been happening and the commitment by 11 mayors and what have you? How you feel about the former situation with the 1.25 billion, and me calling it a form of progress in reference to building and pushing something within the states, along with what you're talking about doing.
You're gonna have to refresh my memory, because when Sister Lily called me on the show, I was driving and I couldn't hardly hear. So give me a little brief summary on some of the gains that you state that we've made domestic.
I was speaking about, I'm about to share the screen. Let me see, share the screen. I spoke about the 11 mayors that vowed to damn, I'm doing, hold on, what that is? Hold up, this ain't right. Yeah. Right here, 11 mayors that committed reparation for slavery, right? And California, one of the people that signed over that beach back to the Bruce family descendants. I spoke about this, right? And some of them had did some forms of reparations and what have you, but it wasn't big. One was the 25,000 that you had criticized, but
oh yeah, I sure did.
I don't have that, but it was a small town, black man with 200 people, something like that, and the things they was trying to do, right? What else? Then I also not that, hold on. Then also about the I spoke about Hold on, my bad. I spoke about the black farmers, and there's an old article, but they never been awarded the money, right? I spoke about
Yeah,
the
I heard
black.
somebody,
All
someone was
right,
telling me about this one.
well, it's an article in USA Today because
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay for it. They don't let you share it, right? But I was
Mm-hmm.
talking about billing off of what's going on in reference to because I was around Juneteenth, right? Juneteenth and what
Mm-hmm.
have you. And I know
Mm-hmm.
you very critical about the HR bill. A lot of people criticize it. Siri Lady talked about Representative Shirley, Leah, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just my thing is I was saying that in my opinion, this is progress in the sense of whereas because some of these are just not white, there's black people involved too. And I was saying that, you know what I'm saying, this is progress in the sense of even though it's super small, we making bill off this. And whether you're talking about going international court or what have you, but them acknowledging what they did and so forth, so on, they never really acknowledge it like talking about it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was just asking what you thought about even with the black farmers and what have you.
Now, at one time, I have a friend that her family has property in Unadilla, Georgia, and at that time, the last time I spoke, some of those farmers didn't get those funds yet. There's something going on with it. The reason why that hasn't transpired yet. I've got to look into that one. And I don't like to speak on too much that I don't know about or that I haven't read up on. I'm going to put it to you like this, Brother Major. Whatever gains that we can get domestically, I'm all for it. I'm not going to say don't take it, but I'm not going to wake up and cry over it because I know that we can do better. And I do know that the strategies that we've used domestically is outdated. Okay. We can go back and we can assert our international rights here domestically, but are they going to honor them? No. No, they're not. They haven't. They've had an opportunity since 1865 to do right by us. Okay. I'm done with begging these people. I'm done with that. So if we can get gains judicially, domestically here, I'm all for it. But I'm not going to support anything that's going to take another 40 years. I'm not going to support legislation, and I'm not going to support people who supports that. That's suicide. As a matter of fact, to continue on with the policies that we're under and not force them to at least put in an amendment specifically for us is suicide. It's time for us to go for things that we need, tangible things we can see, touch, and feel immediately, not next week. We need it like now. In these areas in Chicago, in Detroit, in Philadelphia. I spoke with someone in Philadelphia and Baltimore. These areas are horrible where our people are. Here in the South, because we do own a little property, we have a little leeway. But people up north, those people are having it. They're having a hard time. And not all of it is due to their bad decisions. And some people want to, let the United States off the hook. Oh, well, little Ray mama, she didn't do this. This, that, and the third wouldn't be happening. We have an institutional problem. We don't control things that we depend on. That's the issue. We're colonized. And that's what we're fighting. Okay, when you don't control your water, you don't control your land, you don't control your institutions, with a population like ours, we're setting ourselves up for genocide. Okay, so I support anything domestically. That's 75 million. That's a good start. That's a little light at that end of that tunnel. Hey, I'd be a fool now. Hey, I'm a bitter bug, but I'm not that big of a bitter bug not to acknowledge that was a great win.
Okay,
Atlanta, what
now.
kind of progress you having with the plebiscite vote and with the movement that you got going on with Afro descendants?
Well, we're still advancing everything. Right now, my focus is on Detroit because that's where our numbers are, and my focus is on putting some things in place in terms of updating the website, getting the website together, getting the app together so people can withdraw their consent. It's about numbers. This next election, my goal is to not have anybody at the polls. My goal is to have our nation built. So
Well, you know,
that's where I am.
you know, Made TV can help. I will help, and definitely call me, keep me informed. You be hitting and missing sometime, but you know, just keep me informed. I'm still waiting on you, and I really appreciate you coming on the channel. I the energy got high. I know how you are. You know how I am.
Oh
But you
man,
know,
you
it's
know
nothing but
I'm
love.
just
You know, it's
passionate,
nothing but
man. You
love.
know I'm passionate about my people.
Yeah,
And
you're
that's
right.
what it's all about, brother. It's about loving ourselves and depending on ourselves, like Sister Cody say. Yes, we got some internal issues that we got to deal with, whether we like it or not. We got some internal issues that we have to sit down and talk about. Like, do we need to keep supporting these nonprofits and these different organizations, or are we ready to put on these big boy clothes and set up a national treasury so we can purchase what we want, so we can put in the security apparatuses that we need, so we can carry out what we need to carry out? We have a right to have two nations, one insular nation here in the United States and one abroad to whoever want to donate us land. Those are viable goals that we can have, and it's our right. We need a national treasury, not a GoFundMe. And I like the way you put it the last time we talked. You like Elena. I get so tired of these people go out here doing stuff, and then they want to go set up a damn GoFundMe. You know what? You're right. You are right.
I'm just speaking the truth. Like I just feel like too many times we don't anticipate nothing. You know. Hello.
But we need a national treasury. So when those
Right.
things come up, we ain't got to go out here and beg. We just reach over in the pot, get it, do what we need to do, and move on. What I'm saying is, we can enjoy the gains that we get domestically. We take what we can get, but we always strive to get what we're entitled to. The United States owes a debt to Black Americans, not anybody else, Black Americans. Okay? They didn't stop doing what they're doing to us in 1865. They continue to do what they do. They've never stopped. And they owe a debt. Right now, they're planning on gentrifying the neighborhood. Somebody's going to die this winter because they are being exposed to the cold. When there's millions of pieces of property, millions of homes that's in pretty good shape structurally. But how many Black people going to lay on a slab of cold concrete and die? And we got Negroes in high places that allow this to go on. I'm sorry. I'm not changing my mind. I'm not changing my stance. I'm going to make sure that I put in some safety nets. I'm going to advance the national liberation movement. Those who stand with me, I hope they continue to. Those who don't, they can always withdraw their consent and remove themselves. But as of this day forward, it's about Black Americans and what we need to do to survive. We can't afford another 50 years of absolutely, positively nothing, because that's what we have. We cannot secure, protect, or defend ourselves as a people. And with that, I yield the floor.
All right. I'm gonna give everybody 3 minutes. It's 3 hours and a half. I'm gonna start with Sarah Lily. You had a flyer. You had put out what a flyer where we can speak about that briefly, Siri.
So the alphabet gang kicked me off again. I had to go back and try to get back on. That's what they do to me. And anytime someone is telling you something you need to know, there's great difficulty involved. I'm getting ready to share it again. Here you go. Give me a sec. And this is the flyer. Can you all see it?
Um.
I just shared it. You might have to allow it.
Oh, I'm still waiting.
Hang on. Let me do it again. Allow. All right. Here's the flyer. Can you all see it now?
Yeah, I see it. All right.
So that's just a flyer that myself and another gentleman out of Cleveland put together. And I'm grateful to him. I thank him. That comrade did things that he doesn't normally have to do. He didn't have the time to do it. He's self-employed. He has a family, and he's a part of what we're doing. And so I'm grateful that he took the time out to help me with a silly flyer, because I could do the words, but and actually I put the images in. He did a lot of this. The QR codes, I don't know anything about. There's several things we have. Soul Journey of Life is a media platform that we can speak freely on. Telegram is one you can speak freely on, and then there's my YouTube page. And at the top in green, the very top, you'll see the Pendo Center's website, pendoforfreedom.org. This is how you can get in touch with us and anyone who wants to get more information can use any of these platforms. And thank you for letting me be a part of your show, Major. I appreciate it. Thank you for opening up this forum.
No problem.
This is what we need. It's exactly what we need. Thank you.
And Land knows she can come on the show. She's just making fun of him sometimes.
I ain't messing with you, Major. You know I've been busy with Detroit now. You better get ready because we going soon now.
I know. I want to go out there and check it out too. I talked to Daniel too. I got his number and I spoke to Daniel, you know what I'm saying? So him and I talked like 20, 30 minutes. So, well, you gave me the number, so I finally called him,
Yeah. Well, Ramzu, he's out. And like I said, we're going to be working on some strategies for Detroit and some strategies that we can replicate all over the United States. We have some great models internationally. Like I was telling Sister Lily about our cousins in Mexico, the Afro descendants in Mexico. They're practicing what you would call municipal self-determination, where they're exercising their rights to self-determination on a local level. And, I'm even reaching out to some politicians and telling them about human rights. And they're liking what I'm presenting to them, because one thing that the mayors can do for us now, especially in these areas where we're the majority population, is to put a human rights charter on the table specifically for us to recognize our property rights and our land rights. And I'm not saying, oh, this part of the city belongs to us. No, what I'm saying is recognize and respect our collective right to property. Okay? They're not just taking individual homes. They are cleaning out whole entire neighborhoods. That's why it's important for us to get back to Detroit, get this stuff documented, get it on film. I spoke to one brother today about possibly doing a documentary that could be utilized. We want to do it something like a deposition when we go to Detroit, and we're going to go to Baltimore and Chicago and other areas. But it's bad. People don't realize how Black people are suffering in these areas and are literally homeless. And when you talk to these people, their mother had property or their grandmother owned property. I went back to Chicago earlier this year, and a whole neighborhood, historically Black neighborhood, has just been wiped out. I mean, nobody's there. you know, and this is all over the country, but we're not passionate about it because we don't see it on the news. I'm passionate about it because I got to see it firsthand, and when I did, it just went all over me. So I hope we can collaborate, on a documentary about the homeless problem here in the United States, and
If you
especially
need,
Black.
if you need my help, contact me on that too. I wouldn't mind being a part if you need my help.
Will do.
100 Black Real, your last final words, 3 minutes.
Oh no, it's kind of it's not even the right timing now. I was going to ask her sometime before, but it was just if we, what was it? 75 million. If we got 75 million, I didn't even know how it was going to be placed, but 75 million. Once again, you think about all the Black people in the United States, and as it was said, they put together $1 a piece, and people are going to put more. I mean, you can visualize that. It's highly possible. It can be done. It's almost it can be done easily, but it also takes some effort and it takes some sacrifice of what you have. But one thing I want to also put in mind, me, that is we have one important subject here, but we also need to consider one thing: the times that we are in. This has nothing to do with what the effort that we're trying to make here, but the times that we are in, we shouldn't let the things the effort that we're putting forth for this distract us from what we need to be doing right now to prepare ourselves so we're strong in a position to where we can move forward if the times and the era allows this. You see, because the fact is, the war, I don't care if they send Palestinians over here, like I say, I really, at this point in time, I listen to a lot of people and their perspective. I do have an issue. I mean, I can't do anything about it because if I see people that need help, if I can help, yeah, I got something for you, whatever the case may be, and I'm about my business. But it's really not from a Black perspective. It's really no time for people to come here from other countries, because the war, for the most part, they've been putting these people in the way of what the government should be doing in taking care of us and doing the things they need to do in bringing forth the reparations and what have you. So what I'm saying is here, if they can give these Afghans so much money, you have the Haitians, they come here, and like I say, now I'm not speaking from a race standpoint, but they're from another place. All this money that they're giving out, we don't need other Black people to come here and document themselves as something else, because when they get here, they don't know us. They don't know us. If they're going to come here to get into our fight, it's one thing. But to get over here and then look over us, it's a totally different thing. That's basically what I experienced. See, hey, I'm saying I love I love Palestinian. I love them all, but they know what our fight is. But these people come over here, they don't give a shit. Okay, then the war is on us again. It's doubled on us because see, all they got to do is come over here and document themselves as white. The Haitians, pretty much, and the Africans, when they come over here, they document themselves on a different platform than us. That's the reason why half of them got their nose up in there and don't know you. They don't even have a conversation for you. And like one brother said, I was watching some other show in New York. In New York, the majority of the wardens, what have you, there are from other countries. Okay, so what chance do a Black man even have as far as to, being favored in a situation like that? So now you let somebody over here that knows of the plight, been through a situation, but they're in a hurry to come over here and, buy up shit to send back over there. So I'm just saying, understanding that situation, the money that we get, it's easy for us to, the war is against us.
That's right.
I don't care what anybody said, it's against us because number one, they didn't fulfill the promise that they were supposed to fulfill years back.
That's right.
Now, see, it's a shadow government. See, people look over
this.
You
got 3 minutes, brother. You got 3 minutes. You're going to talk as long as 3 minutes.
We'll do it again.
Go out to fight, man. The fight on right now. I'm holding up.
Yeah, hey, let's end it right here. But I think Elaine know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I know you came from too. You're talking too much.
See, it's a fight. It's a fight between us and the government. And those motherfuckers up there don't want to fulfill the promise. That's what's going to take this country down. Peace.
Peace. Call your last 3 minutes. Last words.
My last words is I want to say all praises to the Most High, MajorTv, for your platform, and thank you, Sister Sarah Lily and Sister Elena and Brother 100 Ruach for being a part of this discussion. It was much needed. I just challenge everyone to have patience with their brethren. We don't have to have patience with the government. No, we do not. We do not have to have patience with our oppressors, but we do need to exercise patience with our brethren because they have been oppressed and beat down. And so I still believe, and I say again, with a firm plan that everyone can get on board with, and we're moving in the same direction, everybody's on one accord, then we can achieve what the Most High say we will achieve, that we will leave out of Babylon with great substance. And with that, I say shalom, family.
Well, I want to thank the entire panel, 100 Black Real, Sister Cody Tamor, Sister Sarah Lily Shallow, and Sister Elena Porter, Pendle Center for Human Rights. Go check her out. I really appreciate this platform, which y'all brought to the platform. I want to thank young Bra, that is Bro Ja Biggs and Bro Antoine Irvin. Thank y'all for coming coming on a platform, whether y'all call, whether you appear on a panel, what have you. I really appreciate this. With me right now, all I'm trying to do is find some kind of positive connection, connecting the dots with the people. You know, I feel like I won't lie. Even people in the movement, some of the conversations I have with them, it's negative. And it just sometimes it's off. I'm a positive thinker, you know what I'm saying? I understand it is messed up. But in the end, I believe in the Most High. And I feel like for things to be better around me, I have to make sure I get myself together so I can make sure that I can touch those around me that may not know what's going on or what have you. But I'm so grateful to have this channel. I'm so grateful for you all being a part of the channel. This channel is not nothing without the people. So I think everybody in the live chat, everybody supported from day one, donated, and still we got a lot of work to do. I'm not giving up. I may get frustrated. I might even get pissed a little, but I'm not giving up. You know,
we're gonna break you from that.
But it's hard. It's hard.
One more tiny little thing. You know I talk a lot, Major. Come on now.
Yes, you do.
One more thing. I want to invite everybody to remember this one more thing. The only time these predators come for us is when we start to practice human rights. They don't bother us really. They killed Malcolm X the minute he started working in human rights. Just remember that.
As long as we tap dancing, they cool.
But I think Elena, you gotta give me a call. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know how we do. Hit me up. I want to think everybody want to go watch this fight, Chris Caesar versus Jamel. I think the fight going on now. I had to come holler at my people. I had to do a live in a while. I had stuff in my mind. You know, crazy stuff happened last weekend, so I definitely had to get back on track and what have you. But I appreciate everybody. I love y'all. Love y'all. Y'all stay focused, still cool. Just be black. Peace.
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 To the people, the power is the people. They power in your ego. We power in this evil. It's power in this music. Got power and I use it like I'm a superhero. We really need a leader. Power to the people. The power is the people. They power in your ego. We power in this evil. It's power in this music. Got power and I use it like I'm a superhero. We really need a leader. Wish we could see that we hurting ourselves. Hate to see each other excel. Looking like crabs in the barrel. Wanna gossip, wanna judge. What if we all just unified and put all our differences aside to preserve our way of life and be black and keep our pride and be kings under God and speak words that are wise and don't glorify things that took our fucking people lives. We've been oppressed so long, we feeding on our own, disconnected from our people, stuck in zombie mode. Children of the lost tribes. Let's go back to Israel. They say I'm trivial, but I swear it's biblical. We need to come together, not only at funeral. I'm so tired of fucking funeral. Power to the people.